Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, thought you were talking to me. Hey, John, can you uh increase the copper supply?
uh,
I can give you a box with some stuff in it.
a box of shit. I don't need no shit, man. I'm good.
Well, I have like 100. I have 46 steel furnaces. I think that might be useful to you.
I
Uh,
I
I'm
have
marching.
12 on me.
And you'll probably need more. Here's the box for the 46. Let me see. Do I have anything else? I have
To
night.
be honest, this is going to be all reworked.
I know. And I also have 19 drills, electric drills, which will also be helpful. And 168 fast belts. And I'll give you 10 splitters, fast splitters, and you have my supply of fast inserters, so those are check that box, John, and that should help you with your that's my donation.
Uh-huh.
I'm watching this and I'm oh, and for whatever reason, if you need computer chip, if you need just green chips, there's quite a bit in here.
Yeah, I know.
I mean a lot. A lot. Okay. I just know it's going to be a problem for me whenever this
I
plant really
I'm
starts
building a
kicking up.
warehouse to do this. Okay, shut up.
That's fine. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is the copper's going to become a problem. That's what I was trying to get to. What was I doing? All right. I need to build more.
Yeah, this whole copper area needs to actually. I gotta rework this. It was doing the job while we were still kind of on the small side, but now we're at the point that's not gonna work anymore.
No. Oh, by the way, John, do you have an odd number of underground belts, fast underground belts?
Yes, I got 3 on me. No, I got normal.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have. Oh, 1 second.
Three underground belts, normal.
Here. I have an odd number. There. Also, here's some fast underground belts if you need them.
I cut the copper supply to this because yeah.
There you go. There's some fast underground belts. I think that should be enough for you for now. Well then, I am. Oh, I do have enough. Yay! Actually, if you're gonna build it like that, huh? If you build it like this, is there any way that you could put a just to ask, is there any way you could have an output right here just for the electronics plant?
Output or input?
Output
Ah,
of plates. It's just an ask. You don't have to if you can't.
that's
If
fine.
if it can't be done, don't sweat it. It should be fine. It always should be fine. Tiny noir steel plates.
Hi.
Oh. So yeah, you've got. If you go in here, this is where those are actually constructed.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out real quick, but don't get hit when because they are bringing stuff in here. It says small assembly station, naval works.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's where these are constructed. What they're building this ship for. But what I was thinking is to go check out the battleship battle. Let's go take this ship for a ride.
Who's playing music?
I don't. Nobody. I know of.
Over
But
this way.
Yeah, this is a different type of ship. This isn't a battleship.
No, come here.
Where you at?
South.
Oh, you went south? Okay. I'm not sure. See, they're coming on here and they're building something. Where it says Big BL.
No, that's the LCTV thing. That's the freight landing ship.
Oh, this is?
That they're building, yeah. It's good. It's a staging vessel, basically.
BMS Longhook? Is that what it's called?
I don't fucking know. I'm not a mind reader. I guess so. I don't know. It looks more like the bluefin.
Yeah.
If you look at the front and compare it.
Yeah, I think it's bluefin.
You didn't hear the music?
I don't hear it, no.
I
don't
can't
have
hear.
my sound.
I can't hear it now. Why is your sound off? Huh?
I don't know. I just turned it off. I'm just kind of taking a look. So, do you want to go see the battleship battle? Or you want to just wait for this thing to get built? How soon is it going to get built? I don't know how to read this thing here. Like when you go to the dry dock and you try and read it.
I don't know. This is probably to start it, just like with every other building.
Progress, it's what, 3/4 of the way? See, and they keep on coming in here, and I don't know what they're doing, but they keep dropping stuff either over here, because they come running off this, and then they just watch them for a minute, and you'll see them. Talk to that guy; he'll tell you what's going on, if you can. Say hi, TK. So me and my buddy are new to this, and we're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Why don't you type it? Can you do it?
So, you see this anchor over here? This anchor is where they build that material. They're building those.
You mean the crane?
Turbines and all that stuff right over here.
You talking about this crane?
You see the anchor over here?
The crane?
That's how you can tell it's a small nail loop. I'll talk to him.
That hurt my ears.
Is the progress going up on this thing at least? I don't know. They just keep bringing stuff in there. I'm guessing it's to keep building this, you know. I don't know. It's pretty interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in this crane? Or the crane? No, the crane's automatic, I think.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to go out and load or no?
What?
I said, do you want to take a boat out?
What boat would there be?
There's one down here. There's a little dinghy down here. We could go in.
Yeah, but that's somebody's gunboat. You don't want to take somebody's hard work.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about over here. There's a little dinghy, like a little canoe or something.
Motorboat?
This is pretty cool. So then, metals factory. You want to go check out another one of the dry docks that might be building ships too? Go back to home.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what they're gonna do with this one.
Okay, that's fine. I don't know how long it'll take to build this.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee that they'll leave without us if we try to leave.
Yeah, well, I think they're gonna. I mean, yeah, they left.
Sometimes it's a risk to go back and forth. Come here, you little shit.
So anyway, here's your Foxhole Navy.
They said this is sitting around. Can you just make a bunch of passengers for a moment?
Currently I am in the middle of making a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Like I have a few
boring.
a mild one right now.
My bad, dude. Alright.
It
Keep having it production in my inventory too.
and I'm about to have to do the same thing anyways.
Oh, I'm working on the copper.
Yeah, I know. No, what I mean is I'm about to make a whole bunch of fast inserters too, is what I was getting to. But somewhere in the queue, there is a bunch of fast inserters being built, and their name, and I will give them to you as soon as they're
You're good.
at any level of completion.
Won't let me get on this. I was gonna walk across this thing so we could go look at the other side of the ship, but it won't let me up there. There's an invisible wall there.
You fucked it.
You can embark on the government job.
At this point.
If you want to speed up
Yeah.
your fast, John, if you want to speed up your fast inserter making, you can cancel it. Go up to where we're building inserters. Put like 50 inserters in your inventory, and you can speed it up by a lot.
No.
Just, I'm telling you because that's what I've done.
How you doing? Jill? Are you getting tired? I'm sorry.
Anyways, that's why I don't like people. They always lie and talk shit to you, and they never commit to anything like I do. Yep.
Yeah, I closed the wrong app, I guess.
Yeah. That's why I don't like people most of the time. They always lie, and they never commit to things like you do.
Why? What are they lying about? What's going on?
Hey, come here. I found a way. I found a way around.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Down
this
south?
way. Of course, you'd have to get past this guy. This is the boss of the ramp. If you can beat him, you can get by.
Oh, that's right. No worries. Well, it's fine. I'm just seeing how this thing is. Seeing if it's making any progress. See, that bar of progress doesn't look like it's moved up at all. And if this is a bluefin, it requires tech. Is that so? It means 2 days and 12 hours. Is that what that's saying?
Look at the chat. They're gonna tell us where the battleship is.
Alright, hold on. Switch chat. Which one are we in?
Just hit enter and look.
Regiment, squad, region, what?
Just have the chat open.
I am.
It's gonna be the green one.
Yep, I'm seeing it.
South of time.
South of Tyne. Okay. How do we get to it? Tyne is over here. Where are you at?
I don't know. You ran off.
No, I'm right here. Here. Come help me. Come with me. I'm over here by the naval. The anchor thing.
You mean that crane you kept calling an anchor?
Right here. Yeah, come here. This thing? No, this is an anchor. Right here. I'm standing right next to the anchor.
No. You may need. Nope, it's all fast inside.
It's not getting to you all the way.
No, it's not. It's more copper. You also might need to start using fast conveyor belts because now you're hitting the limit.
Let's go to town hall.
You may be hitting the limit, but we
Okay.
don't have any fast conveyor
Come on
belts.
over.
I'm making some.
I think tying is down this way.
It's north. We're going north.
I have 108 on me.
Why are you gonna try and get on the battleship? Because they headed south.
Yeah, I talked to someone. They're gonna take us there. And now my hands are cramping.
Sorry. Well,
Yeah, you don't play zoomed out, do you?
no.
What were you zoomed all the way in? Well, just spawn at time this time. Okay.
This large ship, 514 supplies.
Just spawn at time.
I'm at Soto Bank. We go to time.
Just go to home base and spawn at time.
Hold on a sec. I gotta find where it's at. Let me go to the.
Because if you're...
I don't see time. Yeah, I'm not
It's-
seeing time at all.
Are you at the home base? Where are you?
No. Oh, there it is. I see time. Okay, that's where we were just at, south of time. I'm running north as fast as I can. Are you going to time?
I told him to wait for you. Just come to the
Okay.
town hall.
I am. I'm coming. Are we touring? Are we going on the voyage?
I don't know, man. I'm not them. I don't know what they're doing. They made it sound like they're just making it into a museum. But I never assume anything with anyone because people are unreliable. You can't trust anybody. They're probably gonna throw us, slit our throats. Throw our lifeless body into the basin for the fishes.
Alright, I'm in a salvage yard at time.
Tissue in your world?
Are you at the home base yet?
Waiting on you.
Coming. Is this it? Just about. Hi, Jill. How are you? Alright, this is an engineering center, not a home base. Alright, so are you in the base right now?
Waiting on you.
Oh, okay. They're gonna drive us. Okay. I'm gonna hop in the back of the truck. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, now I can continue on the inside.
Yes.
That's lots of
Can we jump out? Right here it is. Pretty good.
Somebody built that pier, by the way. You see that little bridge right there? You see the bridge that they put the docking ladder on?
It was like, and they were like 50 non-casual.
Someone had to build that. You hear me?
I don't think you could. But you could see what damage it was on. Like, we were getting live updates as it was going down. You could see the turrets getting knocked out. They were focusing fire right where I am now. They took out the rear turret and the front left turret quite easily.
What's that?
Does anybody see me drowning on the ladder?
Yes, you are drowning on the ladder. That was quite strange.
I was drowning, I pressed E and got the ladder, and I'm stuck here.
A bunch of people are talking. They're talking about some sort of
Yeah, I
fight
can't do
going on.
anything because I was dying. Nice. Shoot me, shoot me.
You're drowning in
Oh,
blood.
at least you can still hit
Well,
me.
the Japs are saying that they want to have a
If you're drowning, you can take damage, confirmed.
They've already did that. And apparently they got mad and deleted one of our
This is
team
so bad.
ships
This is
for some reason.
unhumane. Nice knowing you, Bear. Nice to meet you.
You can walk down the stairs.
You have
Walk
great
down
fashion
below
sense.
there and see all the
Are you
animals
still alive?
Yeah,
Oh, I am
the
alive.
pier that the
yeah,
But my
yeah,
counter's
boarding
ticking down.
bridge is on.
Yeah.
You should turn your
So I
sound
was
on.
drowning, I hopped the ladder, and here.
Oh, so wait, are you dead now? Like your counter's on?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you
am
should
I
tell me
still
that.
stuck?
That was my plan. I was waiting for that.
I
still-
just did that because I thought it was
Still drowning, like.
Because it's loud as fuck and
Hey.
do shit.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, this is gonna be slow. I have to upgrade this stuff. Okay, I can do that.
I know that a lot.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
they have a time sales capability.
You know what? Here, since you don't have a lot, here, take, stand still. Because you're gonna need to also speed up the back end too.
They got bulkheads.
I'm also making a lot. I'm making 289.
Right downstairs.
It's just gonna take time. I'll be back.
I don't know if it does anything, but they have bulkhead sealing. Here, come downstairs.
Yo, can someone drive this barge here and help me test if you can push it around the aloe still?
Coming down. That's your wounded bag. Here's all your ammo. And repairs, like from the ship.
Yeah, you see these bulkheads? You
Yeah.
close them.
That's probably in case they have to take on water.
Yeah.
I'll seal the bulkhead. Locking them out. This is the engine room, I think. Engine status.
I think this is the navigator up here.
Heavy oil.
The turbines are on the other end. That's where the propellers are. This is the front.
I don't see the propellers.
Yeah, because they're back this way.
You can't go in there though. Just inventory.
Yeah.
I'm sealing up the bulkheads.
Well, the engines would be underneath this part anyway.
In the actual wars when that bitch get a name, you know what I'm saying?
The engines would be right below this deck anyway.
Are you crafting?
Wait, can I talk to you? You're from Warden Navy?
The actual engines would be below this deck.
You're gonna leave us, Creeps.
Can you craft me like a?
Wait. Jerry.
It's right underneath
What-
the
Like,
chest.
you guys are getting slandered on the
And,
subreddit right now. Like, a lot of people don't like you guys because you guys
Come in here
attacked
and you'll
them
see
like
what I'm
earlier.
saying.
Like, there's a bunch of shit
I'm not
happening
sure
right
how
now.
to drive it.
Yeah, it's because they wouldn't listen
think
and they
it's
were
upstairs.
trying to be goofy.
Right
you know,
here.
trying to do. I'm not trying to sound this mean, but it's tard wrangling. You know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to get
I actually
people.
don't know how big
It's like a
it is.
kindergarten
it's bigger
class.
than.
You gotta have the rope
I'll
out and they're all
adjust.
holding on to it. It's pretty hard.
Wait, was it the main
Place.
Warden Navy leadership that like ordered the attack, or like what happened?
No, I wouldn't
Pretty
say
impressive.
that. I told them to go. Like
I can't
There's-
wait
How
to
good
see it.
my
we got to the point where there's so many people on the ship that the lower deck couldn't do
Factory is.
anything. Like the engine guys couldn't get on the engine. They couldn't hear over each other. They couldn't hear each other. So many people were talking. Guns were flying.
How would I expect?
And when you cross the border, many people don't know, there's a max of 30 people that can cross on the ship. A max. Meaning that every time you go to cross the border, you have to have
Let's go
everyone
back.
hop off except for 30 people. Please do not shoot the gun. Thank you.
Hammer, you listening to
So
them
wait,
talk?
what's
This is
the attack?
important.
Because like it sounded like you guys went to their port and started firing on them, and that's
Oh.
why.
I told you to turn your
KRG
sound on.
I don't know.
You didn't
I
turn
don't
it
know
on?
about that. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other guys over here, the randoms earlier.
They're
I don't
talking
know
about how the
anything
ship works.
Port stuff.
No, yeah, you guys.
Is it
People
voice?
on the subreddit are saying that Warden Navy attacked the NEP port like 5-6 hours ago, and that's why
Oh.
NEP responded by blowing up the KRGG battleship.
I don't know. I'm a fucking engineering student. I got classes or I got gainfully employed.
Yeah,
I
I-
ain't playing all the time.
Oh
So
yeah, I am.
they maybe did, they maybe didn't. It's Dev Branch. Did they
Oh,
kill
oh.
anything? Did they kill the
No,
port?
we did. Guys,
Okay, I'm listening.
wait, no, okay. NEP sunk our battleship, but from what it's sounding like, it sounds like Warden Navy also tried to do the same thing but failed.
No, I didn't hear. I mean, I heard someone say that they went to go like fuck around at a port, but they didn't kill anything. They just did a damage test. But that was it. And then they were coping or some shit. I don't know. They got all their pennies in the wad.
So
Maybe
they
they-
responded by going and blowing up the KRGG battleship.
All I can say is that, you know, if you get your panties in a wad about something like that specifically, you know, it's kind of sad. It's literally a game.
I mean, yeah, but also the KRGG members kind of mad because they spent like hours making that battleship.
Oh, I know. Does he think that we didn't do the same? Does he think we're any different?
Shift so I can get out.
I mean, yeah, but like, you guys didn't sink a battleship. NEP did sink a battleship, you know?
In Dead Branch.
Dev Branch, yeah.
So what?
Can you get a
What is
shift
it
so I can
added?
get out of this bottom seat, please?
Oh,
Yeah,
get out.
But you see, it's just Dead Branch. Now I'd be pissed too. I mean, they got the right to be pissed. I don't understand why they should be mad at me or us.
Well, I'm not following, I'm just asking questions.
I'm in the
so-
back.
I'm just asking questions about the situation. You're in Warden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know this is off topic, but do all the leaders of Warden Navy have are there profile pictures of their like OCs or whatever? That's what I heard on the subreddit.
Of their OC,
Original characters?
Original.
Yeah, of their original. That's why.
You have to have an original character to be in the original. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I saw on the subreddit. The Warden Navy's
look,
leaders are all like fanfic characters.
I should know because I have a picture too. Because I'm one of the.
I gave you. I threw some in your.
The reason is that a guy a long time ago, his name was Lisik, was an artist. I played with him a lot, so he was like, I'll do your profile pictures if you want. You're like, it's like all you and your boys get dressed up in the same, same attire.
Oh yeah.
I know.
I was just like, might as well. And so
yeah. Okay. That sounds cool.
It's just that those guys have been around the longest, so they're the ones that are left over with them.
Oh, you do.
Oh, so that's why all your leaders have custom profile pictures.
Yeah, it's just homeboys in favor.
Yeah. How many Warden Navy members are there?
I don't fucking know. A lot.
I'm gonna check the Discord.
Okay.
He said, how many Warden Navy members are in there? And one of the leaders says, I don't fucking know. Apparently you gotta have people controlling the engines in different parts of the ship to get it moving. At least according to what this guy was saying earlier.
Did you find the bridge?
Did you hear me now?
Luke, so you come for an adventure.
I heard you.
Probably gotta climb a ladder.
What?
Yeah. Go take a look.
Turn on one side of the
Getting off the gun.
I put them down, but never put the fucking fire, so I'm like, I'm like, why is that not top full like on the other side?
Very
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Oh, I think
I forgot to put the power to it.
Going back down.
Oops.
Next thing I gotta work on is sulfur. Yay!
Where are you at?
I just
I'm
went
gonna
upstairs,
still-
that's all.
And I've got to still.
A train. I'm getting a train at that point.
Somehow I
No,
was
we
up on
don't.
here.
We don't need a train for sulfur. You know why? I'm already making like 90% of what I need for sulfur.
I think it's up
Hey,
here
what are you doing, Mus?
near the flag.
Transport it.
Hey, I heard something,
Oh. Maybe.
you know?
It is being produced here, and this is where the glue is going to be produced here. Then it's going to be transferred to the science labs. Because we already have most of everything we need for glue.
Okay.
We have
Well,
these.
then
We have
apparently they're gonna
the
stay
red
put
chips
for a
being
while.
produced. A big check mark for blue.
What's that?
Are they gonna stay
And
moored for a while?
I would need the the multi-cylinder engines.
You have to.
Right.
That's how it works. You're not allowed to change teams in the middle of a thing.
No, well, I'm saying, is the ship gonna stay moored for a while?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't do it
Where are you
because
at?
you could sabotage.
You ran past me like 3 times, I think.
Are you still kind of up on top of the?
Yeah, I want to ask this guy something.
Wait,
Hey,
does Warden Navy
Bloodspeed.
have a Discord?
You're not able to see all chat, are you?
Scott back.
I can.
Are you able to see all chat? There's something interesting that I heard earlier.
Yeah, what?
This guy was really passionate about it, but it's just something I heard. He said that supposed attack wasn't actually an attack. It was they were trying to show the devs how weak the ports were. They didn't actually mean to go after the battleship.
Come on this way. You want to talk to our... That's our PR guy, not the sleeper, but the guy punching him.
Hey, I heard you're the PR guy for Warden Navy.
I am the PR guy. There are many PR guys. I am.
So basically, the battleship being
wait,
destroyed
can I
was
just- can I- wait,
unjustified.
can I just ask-
Jerry, look out.
You're being fed.
I'm just.
I am the PR guy.
I'm good.
Is there any chance while I'm still
What do you
working
need?
on this
What?
that you could start working on
Huh?
the
Oh,
multi-cylinder engines?
I was just trying to help out because I heard that.
I'll come.
I want to get up there.
I'll come up and help you after I'm done here.
I heard that there was a bit of a misunderstanding before, and that guy was coming around asking questions, being like, "I heard that you guys were trying to kill someone else's thing, and they killed yours." I'm like, "That's not exactly what I heard." The guy was pretty passionate, so I don't know if I should believe him. But I was told
Bro,
that
I'll be honest.
I was told that a port was attacked to try to show the devs that the ports are too weak, and then they just
Hella
laughed.
weak. Yeah, like we sent one gunboat knowing that it would die to kill to attempt, quote unquote, attempt to kill the dock.
Oh, you can go up there.
That
Yeah.
shit is too. You gotta be honest with me, man. A dry dock being as flimsy as a paper fucking volcano.
Yeah, that's
is,
bullshit.
Like, it really is.
I was trying to help that jury guy out because that guy was asking him, and he was just getting kind of railed with questions, and he wasn't like. I was trying to help him out. I was trying to tell the guy like, "Hey, I heard that actually wasn't what happened."
Like, it was like, what the hell, bro? We just try to alert the developers to how fucking fragile the dockyards are.
Yeah, dry dock has no business being that weak.
That's the thing, man.
That thing should be like multiple bunkers worth of like toughness.
And then Nep
Except for
gets
the gates.
angry that we just try to do something funny while pointing out a problem. Kills the other guy's boat, and it's like, well, shit. Can't have shit at that branch.
Yeah, because that guy was asking questions like, "Oh, is it true that you guys were trying to take out their ship, and then you got beat up for it and failed?" And the guy just didn't know what to say, so I was trying to back him up, but I don't think he was saying the all chats. So.
It's just blame it on Siege.
No, don't blame it on Siege. He's just fucking with that guy. Don't blame it on Siege.
As a person that tends to get blamed a lot, I kind of picked up some signs that guy that was passionate about what actually happened might have had some truth to it. That's why I was mentioning that's what I heard. I get accused of things I didn't do all the time.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, dude. It's fucking stupid. Where is this guy? He's over there now. He's talking to Echo. I'm gonna go over there.
Save that man.
This is cool.
How does this work? Do you have like people on the engines?
This level.
Do you have to have people controlling the engines for this to work, or?
Yeah, I believe so. And you need a wrench to do it.
You need a wrench to control the engines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, John. I'm ready to help whenever you need.
That sounds like it makes sense, but it also sounds like some Scooby Snack shit. in a funny way.
Give me the wrench.
I got the shit from the last one.
Zoinks! Try the wrench, Scoob!
Oh.
Like, Zoinks, cool.
It just bangs on it and it starts working for some reason.
So you can only
Just tell me what you need and I'll do my best
No,
to get
you
it.
have to use the wrench to change the engine in order to make the
Hey
ship
John,
turn differently.
you need iron?
Yeah.
Come right.
You'd think they have a steering wheel for that.
Here. I'm right here, John.
Also, I
Or
found the
lever.
anchor.
No, right here. He's right here.
It's over here.
You found the anchor?
Yeah, there it says raise
You
anchor
said
here.
It looked like you needed iron. I was just
Cool.
telling you where you
I
could
don't
iron.
know where. Oh, there it is. I just barely see it. You can
I know
just
it's going to be
barely
hot.
see it on the side of the
I was
ship.
just
Yeah, I
pointing it
see the
out for
chain.
you.
Got one box amongst all.
Zoinks, Scoob! Try the wrench!
Yeah, I
Bangs,
know.
it somehow works.
I'm like,
I'm sorry, I love that. I just made that up.
Yeah, I know it's.
Yeah, no.
That's why I was
no,
going
that
over here,
makes
John. It's
yeah.
Realistically,
it's
there'd be
one
like a
box that
lever
I'm
or
Also,
a
earlier.
steering
no, I
wheel
read
valve.
that like the currents automatically
If you
target
need
enemy ships when it's anchored, though. So that's cool.
arms to turn into
It does
gas
what?
arms, right here.
Yeah, no, the turrets
Yeah, it's
work
got
on
the
their own
system
when
features.
this is anchored.
Yeah,
They'll-
automatically.
I-
Oh, that's cool.
Fucking,
Night
and it
rating
also
is one of the
serves as a
biggest.
spawn point. Thinking of which,
gave
I'm
you-
going to go
I
to the
gave
back
you
and
10.
set my
I gave
phone.
you
I
nine.
played since beta, and night rating was always one of the biggest issues of this game. Like when everyone's asleep, a bunch of people get on in another country or just late at
There
night.
you go. I
Take
gave you all my
advantage of it.
conveyor belts too. taking your computer though, still. But I gave you mine.
Oh, the yellows. Took my yellows.
Yeah, I took your
Been a long
yellows
time
and
since
gave
I
you
played,
reds.
though.
I think that was a fair trade.
Hey, what'd they do with the trains?
The ingredients is iron gear wheel, which is iron plates, pipes, which is
Stop
iron
moving the
plates again,
fucking helm door.
and the steel plate.
Alright, that's not
Yeah,
me.
it's just all iron is the problem.
That's the next floor over.
Everything has to be a bunch of iron.
Motherfucker, I know.
But
I
there is.
see you, bitch.
There's a couple of fly.
I'm coming.
Tap into it. Yeah, easily.
They can't fix their head.
Yeah, you can move it up to about right here.
I just want to see what it would do.
Put a factory in.
Eh, the steel's not that far off too, so.
Mm-hmm. Or you can just make steel in there.
True.
Requires DMAT in order to actually fix like holes in the wall, right?
Hey, Hammer.
It's just producing.
Hammer. Hammer. You wanted to know where part of the engine is. Come here, I'll show you. This is just part of it, I think. I mean, it's by no means an actual engine, but it's kind of like a small idea of one.
What you are gonna have to do though, John,
Right here. See the four
is
pipes?
replace all these iron. Replace the conveyor
That's
belt.
supposed to represent as part of the engine,
I'll start.
I assume, from the way it looks.
Uh-oh.
You'd think the engine would
This
be,
could
would
actually
be below
prove
this
to be a
deck,
problem.
so that's probably like a part of the extension. I forgot what it's called.
I think the coal line
The
is
boiler
extra.
room?
No, that's where the engine is. Because I feel like it.
Yes. It's right next to all these guns with explosive shells and all.
Oh, no, this wouldn't be the boiler room. It would be below this deck. This is what leads up to the funnels above, so I think it's supposed to represent as being part of the engine.
I'll start working on it.
That's my
I'll start
guess.
replacing it with the fast conveyors, and
From
hopefully that
now.
fixes it. Well, from the
Question,
back.
the battleship's supposed to have a spawn.
There's
right?
not even a
Yeah,
cold meter down here.
but
What's that?
you can see it becoming.
The
very
battleship's
soon.
supposed to have a spawn
Yeah,
area,
eventually
isn't
it's
it?
going
I
to
just
be.
spawned here.
I think so.
And once all these plants wake up,
How do you
it's gonna
activate
be
the
a
spawn
huge
down
problem.
here?
Fully wake up.
Just come downstairs, push you a bunch of times.
It's going to be a problem. By the way, how's power doing?
It's fine.
We're at half power draw.
It's been a long time since I've played this.
I mean, it
See
really
the
is
spawn,
depends
but you
on
can
how
take it
old
in.
the power plant is.
Ah, brr, sir.
Oh, what do you know? Look at that.
I mean, if you're in the
Just give me
squad,
the
you can
option.
take shit.
Yeah, this is the back of the ship. I was
Yes,
about
this
to say, if the
this is the
bar's in the
stern.
front of the ship, someone has a suicide wish.
I think this is the break room. Let's look at those
I
lovely
love how
cups.
the ship is so big that you actually have to have a runner in between the back side and the front side, just so everyone hears everything.
Discord, man. That's what Discord's for.
No, don't break my illusions.
Let him have this
It's
moment.
also what squad chat's for.
Let him have this
But,
moment.
No, it's just big and I like it. That's all I'm saying.
Us men have a habit of liking big, hard, long things.
Jump in the ocean.
No, you said it.
Fine.
No.
This guy pointed the gun at me and said, jump in the water. I said, no, you're the one that said it. He's like, fine, and runs off.
I have the best gun in the house.
Do the bulkheads actually work, or is it just for show?
Nope, they
I
work.
think the bulkheads actually work.
If you keep them closed, the ship won't flood in other sections.
That's
That's
cool.
why there is an access to every single room separately to the bulkheads. There's ladders out of the middle two and staircases out of the ends.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't the colonial ships only have 3?
I don't know, possibly.
Because I remember from watching one of the fight videos that there was only 3 areas.
They do only have 2 large turrets, so that kind of makes sense.
So, technically that makes ours harder to sing. Hey, I'll take that.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, wait, what? What do we need to fuel the ship? Is it coal? Oil?
I heard that you could.
What's the go-go juice?
I'm impressed if this thing runs on diesel.
It runs on heavy oil.
Diesel?
No, it runs on heavy oil. Same as the BT.
Ah.
I'm confused why you thought diesel was funny.
Stop shooting.
Just for the shit.
Please stop
It's
shooting
heavy
the gun.
oil.
A lot of U.S. ships in real life converted to diesel.
I know, but a lot of them also. No, that's
Shoot
not
the
right.
gun.
Yeah,
If you're gonna shoot the gun, either bring a crate of fucking ammunition.
Yeah, it was usually a better option anyway, so heavy oil ain't too far-fetched, right?
Like the 30th time I've had to say it today. You shoot the gun, then we get less ammo. People are gonna stop and think like, oh, is we get attacked, or oh, I'm gonna have to reload. When it really fucking matters what. You can get in and look around. Just please don't shoot.
Hammer, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm trying to talk to you.
I hear gunfire. I don't
breathing
hear
heavy.
gunfire.
Yeah, no,
Some
I'm good.
fucking
Got my phone up to my mouth.
shit
'cause I'm
catcher,
trying to talk to
whatever.
you.
You're just fucking
I didn't hear you say
Asking
it.
when are they trying to fuel the ship? Is that what they're doing?
I think it's
I
already
think
fueled. Is it fueling already?
Hey, can one of y'all raise the anchor? I just want to see what it looks like.
I mean,
if
it
there's
looks
any
like
animation or something
they
like
got a lot of ammo on board, Hammer.
I mean, I
that.
can.
It's reserved by squad. It's reserved by squad.
Oh, in that case, I cannot. Why did
Yeah,
you
let's
bring a
not do-
flamethrower onto a ship?
Let's snarf through because he can do it.
What do you want?
I just want to see what the animation looks like for raising the anchor.
I'm not raising.
There.
My directive is to exterminate the colonial scum.
Yes, but sir, the
Exterminate.
flamethrower seems like it'll exterminate our ship before it exterminates the colonial scum.
You guys filled it up before you.
Can we light this on fire? Does it?
That is an excellent question, though. Can ships catch
Go
fire?
ahead, try. Go ahead. Go light the back on fire.
That
No,
sounds like
thank
an
you. I
awful
do
job.
not want to be in front of
feel
that.
like-
Come over here. Saucy Angel, light this shit up.
Will it even light? I don't think there's a structure. It could be a vehicle.
I don't think it will, but you should try it.
If you could light enemy ship on fire, that makes.
I'll do it. You know, I won't.
Hey, did you guys fuel this up already?
Come to the engine, Saucy Fire, and light this shit on fire. Come over here.
I don't think they heard you.
Does it actually have a lot of ammo in it, or does it just look that way?
I can't really access it to see it. Probably as a single
Because it
shell.
looks like the ammo racks have ammo in them, but is it like actually representative?
There's 200 from what I can tell.
It's just the only one that the Warden Navy has.
I have no clue. Yeah, the inventory says there's 200 shells of ammo.
Hey, there's a ship that's moving.
HE shells. It can load mines. It can load sea mines.
Yeah. Yeah, depth charges.
That's
What are they building over here on the other side? Are they building another dock?
this is where you control the engines on each side of this.
I can't hit them either.
Where
On
at?
each side
Over
of
here?
this. Yeah.
It's sick that you can zoom out like crazy and try to do it right.
Okay.
You got a port propeller control and starboard. Come here.
I don't see that.
Well, follow me and I'll show you. You keep running the opposite direction. Alright, come this way.
Okay.
It says
yeah,
press E to view engine status.
Oh, okay, I see it.
So
Yep.
each propeller needs to be turned on independently.
Okay. Gotcha.
Here's the field. It's filled up.
Right.
So come here.
Yep.
Go back here.
Hold on. Where's the fuel at?
Right here. Just hit E.
I don't see it.
You move for me.
Where is it?
Just hit E where I am. Just these boxes.
Oh, heavy oil, yeah.
Yeah. And then here's some more ammo.
Okay, yeah.
It's got 100.
What is it waiting on? Is it waiting on a crew? On an entire battleship crew?
I don't know. It's probably a good question.
Interesting.
Hey, WN, you guys got a time you're gonna go on a ride?
Hey, come up here and be, like king of the world with me.
Guess not.
We're gonna We're going to
Behold the
recreate our
execution.
Titanic fantasies.
Snarf, get the fucking spot.
I'm flying.
They're shooting each other.
That's because that random guy was trying to shoot that sleeping. Was trying to kill that sleeping guy. So the guy in the clan shot him.
Okay, that's
I was
that
out
down,
here
yeah.
expanding this,
I see how to drive the ship too. Found it.
and as I was expanding, a bunch of bugs showed up and started chasing me.
That's understandable. They chased me down too.
Ask me how long the ship's gonna stay moored.
They said whenever it's anchored, these turrets open up automatically. So the AI take over when it's anchored.
Oh, okay. But when you're underway, then you control that turret?
Yeah. So when is this scheduled to do things? Is that a fire truck?
I think so, yeah.
Thank you.
Either he's cleaning the paint or he's trying to put a fire out. There's some blood over here on this side.
There's water in the boat. There's water in the boat.
Is what?
We're sinking.
Okay, John, I reinforced the walls too while I was at it. We are probably going to need more turrets. And this one's almost out of ammo. fact, they're all level 7, but they have good kill counts, Johnny.
I know. Trust me. I know. Everything the aliens first start hitting. There.
I know.
Our power.
So you mean to tell me that water truck actually put water inside the ship?
It's in the places where others seems to hold.
That would be epic, but no, it did not.
Now you realize they did.
Just asking, because I saw people running around with buckets.
Can't even put out like a fire bunch of it's pretty pathetic.
When did they add fire trucks to the game?
That was when one of the dead fires, wasn't it? Where they were running around with buckets, bailing water.
Technically, I could add some flamethrower turrets down here. Which would probably help.
So, when is this supposed to be put into action?
So they did something similar to this on the Kali side. I have some footage of it, and yeah, you can literally turn these boats into submarines. Because if you're under, like, if you're in the actual compartment, I'll make you drop like that.
The gunboat?
Man, I see so many bugs with this game.
So, when are they scheduled to run these things out into the water?
Test if you can use the duck card I'm talking about.
Not for sure.
You could at least help me out by trying to type. Throw me a bone.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get up.
Okay.
I heard that they added trains to the game too.
Yeah, they're with facilities. You know this, right?
Right.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, but I never got to mess with them.
Yes. Here.
And they also updated the trains.
This, and this.
So either way, it's no difference to me.
This. This.
You guys planning on using this ship for anything?
Yeah, man.
Or is it just like
No, I just don't know when.
I'm sorry, was that?
Yeah, the plan is to use this ship
When are you guys gonna use it?
when they decide it's a good time to.
So you don't know. Well, that's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows, so it's good for us, and it's good for them.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is something I wanted to find out about, and I also wanted to try out trains. They've added a lot of stuff since I last played. It's been years.
When did you last play?
A few years. Not sure exactly. I played back in beta originally.
Oh shit. Like on Steam?
Yeah, I guess.
When is your purchase date?
I don't know. I just remember playing the beta before you. I got access to the beta before it was available for purchase.
That's badass.
Yeah.
So you remember how dog shit this game was?
I remember a lot. Yeah, I liked it better back then. The logistics was clean.
Everything was so much simpler and easy.
The weapons were symmetrical.
I remember everything was symmetrical. You could drop everything on the ground, pick it up, and see it live in person.
Yeah. It was. I liked the. I liked the combat play more back then. The logistics play back then. It was much.
All you had to do was build walls everywhere.
You build walls, and you both had the same weapons, so you didn't have this every patch as a new rebound bullshit.
Exactly.
and I quit. I used to be a Logi player slash frontline tanker, etc. But I started like quitting because like shit just got more and more asymmetrical. Logi became more and more time consuming.
Makes sense. Yeah, I
And
quit
it just
for a
got
while.
more and more annoying because it started breeding more toxicity.
Yeah, a lot of people actually did that. They got fed up.
I've stuck around. I've
Logic.
watched this anyway since.
For real. They wouldn't.
It's true. Yeah, and I heard that they're trying to work on the logistics recently, and then they came out with trains, and they came out with this, so I've been wanting to try it, but I just can't. Well, I don't have. I have to find a group that's doing that stuff.
You actually don't. You just gotta ask. You just gotta. Well, yeah, technically, but you just gotta ask. Like, yo, anybody got a train? I need to do this, and somebody will escort you.
Yeah, I spent 8 hours yesterday doing that every like few minutes because somebody said they wanted up with the train, and everybody just ignored me.
You gotta be happy. Everyone always posts like
I put it in lobby, I put it in world, I put it in all the chats.
I recommend you get on the map, find an active group. If a map like a facility that's active, you go there and you ask them that you want to do.
Yeah, I was
You make something somewhere far off in like the back line and then use your train to bring it back to you.
To be honest with you, I'm probably just gonna have to get lucky and hope I can find a group to get into that's doing these things like the ships and then
What
the
exactly
trains.
do you want to do? You just want to drive the train?
I want to do some train stuff, see what that's about, and I want to do some ship stuff and see what that's about.
Like, okay, fair enough. Like with the train stuff, what do you want to do? Just like drive the train, do combat train, do artillery train? Or...
Yeah, just help out with it.
Just do lots of train.
Yeah, it piques my interest. I've gotten into trains recently, and I've learned a lot about ships lately, so I've been practicing.
Yeah, but you're just in time for all of it then. Yeah, you're gonna have. There's gonna be a lot of people in this update. It's like
it's producing.
I'm also curious about
how
how
are
the
you making
submarine's
motors?
gonna work.
Oh, that is really good. I've actually
Playing around with some simulators for the past couple of
I
years.
feel like the submarine's gonna be a hot mess.
I think so too.
I don't think it's going to produce anytime. So.
I still want to see.
Of course, everyone does.
That would mean that. That would mean that I.
So how much?
Well, anyways, I'm still busy.
Running around in the front
building-
being shot at is nice and all, but that gets
I'm building
tiresome.
flamethrowers and I'm building other things.
Especially when you feel like doing logic anymore.
You want to add a couple of more?
It's worth it. It just depends how you want to be shot.
Well, it's worth it if they did any of the adjustments that I heard that they were recently, as in within the past year and a half.
Well,
I threw a shrapnel shell at you, if you were wondering.
Cool hard screen.
said I got news for you.
In my head, I was. I looked at all the steps.
Sometime after this fight, there's a lot of noise.
Sometime after this update, they're gonna add planes.
Oh yeah?
And then this is gonna have to go into
Not making
another thing that's fine.
Yeah, the SPG guys are curious
So
too.
these motors.
So, do you think you know
Where's
what
my
kind
ship?
of ship and train stuff?
We're making
Do
blue.
you know a group that's doing ship and train stuff?
So this.
We're doing trains.
Who?
Cows.
Oh, cows?
Yes.
Okay, this is the sulfur. That I
What are we
got.
talking about?
We go.
Currently, I would make sulfur right now, but I would like to ensure a more.
I'm an
stable
old returning player, and I want to get to try. I want to get to do some train and ship stuff, but I want to know
You
if
still gotta make remember tunnels? Still gotta make tunnels for your AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see
Well,
you out
to
with
be,
that.
Not just
the Yeah, the tunnels are for making sure things don't decay anymore.
Yeah.
Not AI anymore. I remember that.
AI whenever they added it. I remember you used to be able to build a bunker and it would just
Jerry, let me see the spotter
it would
seat.
just be crewed
Jerry,
by
let me see the
AI.
spotter seat.
You didn't need to get too complicated.
Jerry,
Yeah.
Jerry,
Fobs just had AI. You could extend the AI with tunnels. It's awesome.
Yeah, it felt a lot more strategic than like a strategy game.
And then it kind of just evolved into spamming fobs every 30 meters, basically. When tunnels were moved.
That's the only way to extend your AI.
That's all it was back then, where you didn't have to wait for AI at all. You would literally just keep it, like any good front would just be spamming fobs
what do you think,
like
John?
every 30 to 50 meters, and then using that to creep AI forward.
Yeah, that was after they did changes with the tunnels, and then they changed the tunnels again.
Yeah.
Do you think we need more
The tunnels
space?
have been like 3 different things at this point.
Yeah.
AI extenders, carrying things on to different wars, and decay things now.
Oh yeah,
we need more space. You're gonna have to go
last
get this,
war. They were dragons. Walls.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. We're the
which is fine.
we're the ones to do that first. Thank you. Yes, yes.
Yeah, we were. The wardens did it. Good job.
No. Like WN.
Oh,
WN did it in Great Warden Dam.
You got it patched.
Yes. We did it in Great Warden Dam.
I just can't believe nobody thought about that soon.
Yeah.
There you go, John. I have 32.
This man has knight's armor and a
How many do
flamethrower.
you have first?
It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like that one scene on also my.
Isn't it convenient whenever I can place things in your inventory? And then inconvenient when I steal it.
The French was burning it.
What was your exit? Take this.
Yeah, so I was just telling him that I was trying to like get into trying some of those things, and then I quickly realized that I'm gonna need to find a group of people to join on to do those things. Like Navy and trade.
Discord.me/join-warden-navy.
Or you can just join channel.
Make sure I can run the bug go away spray.
Do you guys collaborate together?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is that why there was train tracks going
Depends
the
on what
dry dock
side
up
of the
there?
war you're on, but yeah.
Some of the best bug spray in the world, right, John?
I'm
I would say join rocks, but we haven't accepted anyone like you.
I'll be honest, 99% of my entire playtime is
Yeah, good.
Too.
Also, joining rocks is just joining Warden Navy with extra steps. Sorry, Kesslers.
Racist against Carmons.
Well, if I'm not able to access Discord right now, is there another way that I could like be in the know or something? My
Discord has most groups.
So I can't really,
would like
I can't
to say
spare the
for
memory for
Warden
Discord.
Navy, Blackwater is going to be very looking forward to using Lilith, so maybe.
Oh, Black's coming back? Alright.
My understanding is they're coming back for the update.
Alright. I remember when they did Blemish Cannon. The storm cannons that hit Blemish.
Unfortunately, not able to get that before. That was a story I got. My brother was
WM was helping push the north of Blemish when they started firing. Glorious.
Is there
my
an
understanding from that war, we started firing the Blemish cannon, and then someone would start trying to nuke the Blemish, and send guys in to go find the people that were calling the nuke.
Yeah, probably something like
We literally sent soldiers in, not with the purpose of killing colonials, but to find a nuker, tell him no with the nearest gun we had, and then do it again until the Blemish surrendered.
Yep, basically.
It wasn't paid.
Yeah, but that was pretty close after War 69 and and Kali's putting SCs in range of Kirknell. So we all wanted revenge for Viper Pit. For Kirknell.
It was a good war. I enjoyed the story. Blackwater. Like, I was one of the members one of the very first members of Blackwater. So there's a couple of fun ones I was there for, but unfortunately some of the bigger operations played I missed.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time where they turned the entire man, it's not even on the map anymore, is it? We stormed into a region with a bunch yeah, it was old Peninsula. We stormed in with a bunch of tanks and just turned the entire region white. Like, we didn't capture anything, but we just blew up every town hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Can you make some?
It's also, that's interesting, because War 1, Warden won. War 1, Wardens won that war. War 2, Collies won. War 3, Wardens won. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already.
I played back before there weren't even wars. There was game lobbies that you could join. It was like a big
Same here.
And it was a big map.
During the server wars.
Yep, the server wars. The reason why I'm Warden is because it was almost always
here to here and that one except the main and that.
Yeah, and then whenever they expanded the map.
Almost every server I saw was always, there was more collies than Wardens, so I joined Warden.
You can fix that.
Yeah, the underdog kind of thing.
That was one of the big things for the Wardens. It was just like always, Colonials, this faction's full. It's like, why?
And even whenever they first started expanding the map with different hexes, it was still the server wars. The real wars didn't start until like much later.
Yeah.
Or the wars as you would call it.
Yep. And the first, fun fact, the first world conquest was east to west, because at the time the lore was, I mean not the lore, but at the time the canon was east to west wars.
Yeah.
And then it switched to north to south.
Also, Heartland.
That was they did that in the pre-beta too, which I was a part of.
Heartlands was also the only hex with 4 VPs in it, and Callahan's Passage was the only hex with 2 VPs in it. It made the south actually a lot more worthwhile than the north.
Yeah, it definitely got interesting, especially with the fact that every weapon was symmetrical with each other, so both sides actually had a fighting chance against each other.
Yeah, and the only difference was basically what it looked like in terms of the tanks, and that was it.
Yeah, they performed and worked exactly the same. It had the same like weaknesses and everything. They just looked a little different. Same thing with the trucks. But now it's just like all over the place.
Yeah.
I understand why they want it all over the place, but at the same time.
Well, what I mean is that ever since they started going asymmetrical, every war has always been a patch about, oh my god, now we have to wait for the next update so this stops being OP. Kind of like that. Because when it's asymmetrical, it's just a matter of like attrition at that point. You're not even having a good fight.
Yeah. Honestly,
well, the devs have never been able to nail it, to be honest.
Yeah. And honestly, I still like the. Do you remember the old factories that only did one specific like section of stuff?
Yeah.
Remember those?
The logi time was faster back then too.
Yeah. I wish that we still had those, honestly.
That's what I keep saying. It was much more easier and streamlined and to the point back then. Now it's just convoluted and complicated, and that's just breeding a lot of toxicity. That breeds a lot of toxicity because now logi times are high. Now you got clans camping shit. I tried to get my friend into this game a couple of years ago, and we went up to a nearby resource and got killed by a clan camping it. They refused to talk, they refused to budge, they said they owned it. And it was like 2 or 3 clans on different spots, just killing people.
What type of field were you trying to use?
Just a regular scrap pit.
Scrap? I understand components.
Clan.
I understand components.
Hammer was
and
with me. My
components
friend next to me,
only.
he was there. He got killed too.
What clan was it? Do you
I don't
remember?
remember. I got footage of it on my YouTube somewhere. I got pissed.
Alright.
That sucks. Like, no.
It never used to be like that.
The
People would just
only
come and
thing-
go.
I will admit,
What were
I
they?
will admit Blackwater has boarded in the past.
What was it, Hammer?
Third ID.
Third ID?
Generally,
Okay, so my friend
generally
told
clans
me.
would use what they make. So.
My friend told me that one of the clans was called Third ID or something like that.
Yep. That's who it was.
Alright.
That was one of them.
That would, if it was like 1 or 2 years ago, they were probably very few at the time. That's probably why.
They weren't the only one though.
Probably third or.
There was people looking for components too, not just scrap. Either way,
like I said, I can understand components.
The only thing clans should be doing at component fields at this point is defending them with bunkers and also the broken comps.
yeah, they had a fucking
a little facility for broken comps.
It was ridiculous. Like, I can understand if they had their whole team there trying to get stuff and someone was being an ass or something. But it was 1 or 2 guys by themselves, just a sentry post. And while they killed my friend, after they killed us the first time, I snuck around and took a peek, and the scrap thing was fucking full. They were just sitting there not doing shit.
Place one right here.
And I literally had a fob near the front line nearby that I was trying to... We were trying to put it
they're
front
under
line
the
post.
right now.
Anyways, I can't use Discord right now. My computer's dying, so I don't want to front load
It
the
just
RAM
needs a
with
line right
Discord.
here.
Is there like a Steam group or something?
Yeah.
Again,
Good.
Is there like a Steam group or something I could do instead, or some way to keep in touch?
Generally, most clans just use Discord. The only clans that would use anything else other than Discord would be the Chinese. So unless you know Mandarin.
Well,
I mean,
the Chinese is part of the reason why I don't use Discord, but let's not get into that. But my memory can't front load too much right now. My computer's like doing a lot. I'm trying to save up.
Gun, I know a bunch of gun turrets, so I'm putting them down.
Use the console chat.
Is there a way? Is there someone I could just add on
clans
Steam? That way, like I go between.
If you have a smartphone, you can get Discord on your phone and use it like that.
Yeah, I could, but I usually have problems when other people are like, "Oh, you have to join the voice chat if you want to play with us." Kind of gets weird about that. I just got a new phone this year, might work out, but my last phone didn't. Because Discord, sometimes you'll join a Discord and they're like, you have to have your real microphone to use it, or other stuff, or sometimes it just won't work. So that kind of gets awkward. Do they have that there? Like some servers have like restrictions.
I don't have any more ammunition, so I
just
just leave it dry and then switch on.
Like I tried joining World War II online.
Most people won't tell you to use a mic as long as you use here.
WN requires a mic, but I don't know what our stance would be. You can't use it on Discord, but you can use it on in-game. It would be though.
Now I need to start producing.
WN has reasons for it though.
And to produce sulfur, I need...
Namely, a certain incident with a certain person.
Right here.
So mute people in WN.
Harmless?
Yeah. Though we've never had a mute person try to join us, so.
Oh, it's loading.
I tried to, this clan wanted to get me to work with them on World War II online, and I would try to join their, like, server group, and then they're like, oh, you have to come into the voice chat. I try to join the voice chat, and it's like, you must join with a real microphone, and I'm like, well, shit.
Bugs need to be killed, and I can kill them.
Well, do what you got is expected of
Your mic, you have to
I
unmute your mic.
need more
It
chemical
is.
plants.
It's my phone. I talked to. I used it before.
Them
I
right here.
had an issue with my computer and Discord voice, so
These are gonna
that's
be
why I
used to
just
make.
use my phone.
So
I've never had those problems.
Well, as a tech
Wait,
geek, I just can't stand
I want to
Discord,
make soap
honestly.
for gas.
But
I need
the RAM
iron
thing
plate.
is true, though. My computer is dying. My friend Hammer and I have been talking about it the past few
I thought to
days.
make. Then what was that for?
Computer's dying, yet Foxhole still runs. It's fine.
For now, I'm trying to be careful with it. And Discord's not good. It eats up a lot of system resources because it tries to like data mine you and shit.
That might explain why my Discord automatically disappears at times.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it here because a lot of people don't like it when I talk about that, so I'm not gonna tend to not like that when I say bad things or what they consider to be bad things. I mean, it is a bad thing, but it's a fact.
Anyways, does anyone have any fun war stories while we sit here?
I have a lot of war stories. But I don't know if they're fun.
Oh, that's for batteries. What are you going to need?
Well, maybe some
batteries.
I've been part of a lot of. Oh, okay. Here's one for you.
But sulfur, right?
Oh, was someone talking?
Sulfur comes first.
No.
Nope.
It's these guys who got themselves stuck underneath the.
Oh. So okay. Here's a good one for you. This was. This was about 2, maybe 3, 4 years ago. No, this was about 5 years ago. I was with my ex still. So this is what happened. I was big into Logi, and I was, so I got a group together, myself, and we put together. We put together a shit ton of tanks from the front. We loaded them up and convoyed them all the way to the front line. Manually, of course. That's how it worked back then. There's no trains or nothing. And there wasn't even the mini-map either. Don't know if you remember that, but... So, we pulled them up there, had them loaded them up with a bunch of people, and they also had like I don't know if you remember the early armored cars. They were kind of like armored cars. Anyways, there was a bunch of heavy tanks. There wasn't that much. There wasn't a whole lot of variation of heavy tanks back then. Tanks, but they were one of the best tanks you can get at the time. And we made about like 100 of them or something like that in a matter of a day or two. And just a concentrated effort. So we got like a shit ton of people up at the front line, and we crewed all the tanks all the way. And this one dude was part of the tank, and have you ever seen that you ever heard that theme song from the Transformers movie from like the 80s?
Maybe.
You got the touch, you got the power, No, that's not the right one. That's, what was the other, how'd that theme go? It was done by Lionhead. Oh yeah, Transformers, that was it. It'd be like Transformers, and it'd like play like the riff, the heavy riff. Well, he started playing that, going into it, like through his microphone, and then he was just playing music, and he was pretty much just right in the middle of the front, and we pushed right into the collies and scared the shit out of them. There was gunfire and shit going everywhere. They were panicking. You could see them trying to figure out if they should run away or not while they were trying to shoot, so there's bullets going multiple directions all at the same time. It was awesome. And we pushed the front line for... Let me think. We pushed to a spearhead, basically. And then we held off, and because they started to come back around, so I decided it was time that we start setting up we consolidate the foothold. And that push, those tanks pretty much turned into bunkers at that point, and we used them for support, and we wound up winning that war later on.
Nice.
Yeah. The tank I was in, a couple guys had to go, so I had to ditch it. But it was pretty good. But I rolled up some more tanks. Well, I made some extra tanks and rolled them up and then called it a night. But it was great, man. That guy was like charging in, playing music, and like, woo! Like, we were fucking charged up and ready to go. It was fucking great.
I think that's about half the game right there. If you just have one guy yelling at you to get going and or just yelling at people to organize and charge, that's half the game right there.
Yeah, I definitely clicked with him because I was the one.
They can just cause so much havoc.
Yeah. That's part of why I clicked with him because like I'm a type of person where I tend to like be a little bit of a leader at times. And I got a bunch of people together to get those tanks up there, and then I organized people to get ready to supply and push. Of course, there were already people up there, but I helped get the word out because like they wouldn't know because they were fighting right there. So we got some of them to come back and help crew the tanks and stuff. And
smell this.
Like whenever you meet someone, you feed off their energy. You can kind of like compound it, and it's just great.
Yeah, don't go in there.
You like bounce off each other, kind of, but like in a direct and indirect way.
I mean, you can toss your dog in there. I mean, he wouldn't know the difference.
No, I don't disagree with that. That was one of the big reasons why I enjoyed messing around with Blackwater.
Now we have everything.
You know how you have the group of guys that claim they're toxic, and then the group of guys that are actually toxic? Blackwater is the one that claims they're toxic. Like, yes, they can do some pretty heinous things that you upset the group, but they're not actively going to ruin the game.
The only thing you have to worry about now is
they did something wrong.
I guess we'll build it here.
So
Start making them here.
They're fun to mess around with.
Well, that's good.
Your motors are up north a bit, but
I got one more for you. This one's a short one though.
All right.
It's easier to bring them down here.
I joined. This was maybe a year or half a year after that. I joined to see the state of things, and there was this town that was being held out. By the way, this is all wardens, by the way. And because I've never really do colonials that much, Anyways, so
you think you can? Oh,
this town was under such heavy siege by the collies that it was like it was basically common knowledge that the entire collie team was trying to make a push, but the fenders were so far and in between because other people were trying to get a push somewhere else.
Oh, devastating.
And it was basically urban warfare, but like siege style, where you're being sieged.
That's good. That transmission
and
line.
Stuff was getting scarce and scarce, and we were trying to get reinforcements in. So I wound up grabbing an MG. I got up on top of a building. This is around whenever this was a somewhat. I think this was when.
Honestly, it wasn't that long ago. It was
John's babies.
Like they started splitting off about a year and a half ago. It was a little more than that.
Maybe
chips.
2.
Yeah. Well, it was getting really bad, but I was encouraging people and using the buildings. I think this is whenever they made the buildings more usable than they were previously. And I was up in the loft with a machine gun and a mortar and binoculars, like an HMG. I was crawling and I had a good field of view of the main street they were mainly pushing from. And they were coming in from mainly an open field, but they had to push into the urban. And that went on for hours until we finally started getting relief and things started getting pushed up with some vehicles and us. So I started.
John's already done it.
I think I ditched the HMG. No, I kept it with me. I just kept a few ammo so that I could, maintain it. So I would suppress, and then I would move up with the front line, set up the mortar, and do like a barrage. And I was hitting like multiple collies in a row because they were just out in the open. Because at this point they were getting pushed back from their push. And we just marched all the way up until we got up into a mountain choke point, and then I got off for the night. But we won that battle.
Nice.
What does it do?
One of my, I guess, more impressive stories I have.
I forgot. There's another detail. They were trying to take that town for a couple of days, so those wardens held out really
Right
well
then.
before I got
Okay,
there. There was too
so-
far in between. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But we got the reinforcements
I know
there,
how
and
the
that
siege
sorted
battles
it.
work.
Here then.
No, I have an interesting siege battle. You remember? I believe it was 96. That was the first longest war. It was like a month and
This will
3
be
days
here.
or so.
War
Right?
96?
I believe so. I might be off. I don't remember the wars well by numbers.
I don't either. I just know that I was a part of a lot of them because I played this game for a long time before I
First
quit.
of the longer wars. I believe it was referenced as the Forever War for a while. We got more wars that were longer.
What was it, 98?
It might have been 98. It was close to 100. I know that.
Okay. Let's see.
My group decided they wanted to hunker down in Saltbrook Channel. That was the city that we were going to be holding on for that war. And that city turned into 2 weeks of constant warfare. Like the like town hall switching sides nearly hourly.
And then
it was horrible. And when the storm cannons eventually came out, because we were just every time the colonials pushed over the river to the town hall, we would launch a push and push them back out of the city entirely, and then we would repeat the process again. And we had a storm cannon base we built up just east of the Brackish Point. If you're looking just in between those two mountains. We had a storm cannon base we built up there that we would that we used to fire down into the city. And the colonials ended up building 2 more storm cannons on their side, and they would use them to fire up and target our defenses at like North Star and just north of the city, trying to push us out.
That is also a big solution.
Basically, what would happen would be they would build one gun, use it, fire it a couple times, destroy something, get off for the night. And a new Warden storm cannon would pop up during the night and take out their storm cannon.
You know, that sounds familiar. I might have been there.
Yeah, like, it was just like storm cannons would appear the next day, blast the last storm cannon that came up, go offline for the day.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 of them shooting at the same time, right? Because like I remember I was part of this situation where our cannon would fire to try to dislodge them, and then they would like return or batter us with like 5 or 6 in return. Don't know if it was the same one or not, but I remember that happening.
Our storm cannon only one that actually remained standing, and I think the only
I was there.
why
You're up to it.
they kept hitting the mountain, you couldn't actually get a good shot on it.
Probably already on it, but I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, I think I remember that. We wound up abandoning that gun.
Where they need to go.
A lot of bases up there got abandoned and then reclaimed by other clans.
Yeah, we eventually pushed past it, and then we got pushed back at one point, maybe.
I'm not sure, honestly.
I don't remember either.
It was a long war. I know there's parts of it I missed. But eventually, towards the end of the war, they eventually Blackwater just came to the conclusion, hey, we're not going to save this city. We're losing too much ground everywhere else. The defenders are moving elsewhere. This city is going to be lost soon, and we can't prevent that.
That sounds familiar.
So
I was one of the ones that stayed behind to delay the collies.
Again?
I was one of the ones that stayed behind to keep delaying the collies that were coming in.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember that.
But what ended up happening after everyone was basically starting to leave was Blackwater got a hold of another group that built one of the rockets. And basically said, hey, the end of the war is coming. Can we use your rocket? I don't know the conversation that went on there, but they had basically said, sure, why not? That was the same day I got my brother in Vauxhall. I spawned him in that
Oh,
region.
now
off in
here's the
one of
problem I
those-
remember that we
off
were gonna
in
have.
Evil Eye, I believe it was.
I'm gonna fix this.
And
Fixie.
I got him a truck.
I can fix this.
And I showed him the basics on how to play. He stabbed me with a bayonet, proving he's already a warden player at heart, stabbing people with bayonets. And I loaded him into the truck, and I told him, all right, we're off to go kill Colonial. Well, I said, all right, we're off to go fight. My brother said, yes. So we're off to kill Colonials, right? And he wasn't in our clan just yet. So he wasn't able to hear the squad talk with how they were calling in a nuke at that time. And they just basically started calling it in. So I took the truck and drove, and I drove past several Colonial trucks that were trying to evac their gear out of the city before the missile hit. And my brother's just watching the trucks drive by as we're driving in. And he's like, hey, wait a minute, I thought you said we were going to kill Colonials. And I just sit there and I start laughing as the truck's taken out by an AT current. And I tell him just hop out of the truck and run towards the city. And we just book it into the city. And I get there just in time to see an entire group of Blackwater running by, yelling, get to the church, it's coming. And I just see one of their tanks strolling behind them. And my brother runs up and says, wait, what's coming? What are you guys talking about? And they just said, the nuke is coming. Get to the church so we can see it. And my brother's like, wait, you tricked me. And I'm just already following them. And he's like, no. He tried to run. It was hilarious. He tried to run away. He was still caught by that nuclear blast of the rocket impacting the city. And I'm just sitting there laughing as I look over and see his screen turn red from the explosion as all of the Blackwater guys die, including myself. And I just look over and I see him die as well. I'm like, congratulations, your first death is by nuke.
That's pretty honorable. That's what's the word? That's yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think my first death in Foxhole was being run over by a Logi truck. His first death is by nuclear hellfire. I granted him an honor I cannot have.
Yeah, you did him a favor. That's gonna be a good
story. Of
story.
course, he kind of blames me now because every time artillery starts falling from the sky, it hits him directly in the head every single time. Boss, I'm sorry for your loss. That is a pain.
Yeah, there's been a lot more toxicity in the game now than there was back in the day. A lot of people think that everyone's a alt account and all this other stuff, so they'll just assassinate someone for being new. And that's why I said I'm very sorry.
The wars between 105 to like 90 were really bad results on both sides.
Yeah.
So the
I mean, it's gonna happen.
Was earned.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't be so bad if the game part of the reason is the game mechanics is what I'm referring to. The fact that things are more asymmetrical. It's not such a one-to-one game anymore that you got to get nitpicky about things or else you start not winning, and that bothers a lot of people. You know, they put a lot of time into this.
Oh yeah, no, I understand completely.
So that makes them start getting more and more jaded.
Really heavy on that
if only that damn spy didn't show up, I would have won that push. And then they start, you know, sometimes when you're looking for something, that's all you're gonna see.
No, I don't disagree with that, but
it happens. But
no, I can't say Blackwater is not guilty of that, but generally we're pretty decent at catching the ones who are actually using alts. Like, we had one guy stroll up to our base and take all the bunker supplies out of it.
Yeah.
So, like, we were decent at finding out who was actually an alt on our list, or just marking down suspicious activity from players. but generally we were fine
Yeah.
with just about anything.
There are some ways to do it easier now, I would assume, but you always get the paranoid ones that just shoot the first private they see, doing something that's they think is unnatural when they're really just trying to figure out the game. I saw footage of this one guy, his first time playing the game, his first 10 minutes. He's like, "Oh boy, I found a shovel." This is after they added trenches. "Oh boy, I could dig." So he practiced digging trenches just in a random beach. Some random high rank guy runs up and starts talking shit to him and shoots him.
Every time I meet like, and I see them like building and something, I'm like, oh cool, word of warning, don't pick up the shovel. Like I make sure the meme does not die, but I'm not the one that's actually killing them. I walk up, I'm like, if you want to survive as a builder, wait until you're above the rank of like sergeant, or even better, like make it to corporal before you start messing around with stuff. Because there are people that will just pop you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what he meant by server wars before was that there used to be a server browser in the game. And you know how, like, whenever you play, like, Hell Let Loose or Red Orchestra 2, you got, like, different games going on, you know, different matches. That's what it used to be like.
Yeah.
That's what it was like back then. There was always multiple different matches going on. There was none of this, I have to fight to get into this zone kind of thing. So there was, like, so when he referred to server wars, he's referring to a server browser, is what I think he meant. And this was pre and during beta, and then slightly after post beta, whenever you could buy the game. And then they started adding like a little more to the map. There was still that, but they started restricting like how many. They were like toning it down, slicing it down. And
yeah. You have to be careful with that one.
Yeah. He may not have even realized that that was a defensive point.
They will do anywhere. You made me bleed. How? What did you do to me? What did you do?
I inserted this barrel into you, and then I pulled the trigger, and this like little thing came into you, and it like caused
I didn't even hear the bullet.
To, like,
I just turned red. I didn't even hear you shoot.
Yeah, there was no gunshot.
Now you have ketchup stain. And that's how it happened.
You're carrying a ketchup blaster?
Carter, right?
I don't know what happened. That's what happened.
He carries the ketchup blaster.
Let me clean this off.
We need more. Look how slow it is.
Look all this ketchup.
He brought the paper towels. Where'd that fire truck wash him off?
There's the gunshot.
Yeah, now it fired. Last time it didn't. It's like it's like your gun was silenced because it was exciting.
Oh no. No, I will say one of my favorite things to do though on a front line is to just like stand up above the trench line with a pair of binos there. I was talking to him.
Oh.
My elbows.
We still talking. We still talking. We still conscious.
Rub my elbow, please.
Go ahead. Here, you want to talk to his face? Here, his head's on this side.
I'm spinning him. I'll speak to the back of his head.
There you go.
Ace, you doing all right?
Just fine.
Oh, grenade spam? No, the Colonial still have that.
Yeah.
It's called shrapnel.
They also have grenade launchers. Or did they take that out?
No, grenade launchers are still there.
Yeah, I remember that was overpowered for a while.
I
remember that was considered.
Colonials.
Thanks.
I
remember the grenade launcher was considered overpowered for like several wars. For a long time.
I love talking to Colonials about how they think their gear is just underpowered in every single way possible. I'm like, no, you guys have the shrapnel nades. All your infantry equipment is really good, with the exception of like your main gun.
That's why there was a joke started.
It's just all better.
That's why there's a lot of jokes about colonial bias, because like there's a lot of wars where they have the advantage. Like after they started making things more asymmetrical, every war they started rotating the map and doing other stuff, adding in stuff, changing stats and things. And that's where a lot of that imbalance comes from too. Is also where you start off on the map too.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. But no, like, I was talking with someone that played as a colonial, and they're like, "Your tanks are better." I'm like, "But all your base stats for your tanks, they all operate better."
Yeah, I forgot. I've stopped playing tanks so much because I kept getting pissed off because I'd die silly ways from the colonials because of the way they changed how tanks work. I got pissed off.
What ship class is this? Is this the biggest?
No, it's the smallest.
To talk with them. It's just like,
yeah, some of the stuff they say is just kind of out there, but some of them are okay though. But they really love worshiping their partisans though. They really seem to love worshiping partisanship. You know, where they go around and fuck with Logi. Have you noticed that?
I mean, the wardens are guilty of that as well to an extent.
Yeah, but the colonies seem to like worship it, like as if they're like doing God's work and shit. Like it's excessive, is what I'm saying.
I mean, going over there and blowing up a couple trucks of gear, going to the
like everyone's entitled to some partisanship, but what I'm saying is like, whenever I've heard these discussions on partisans and stuff, and I've watched videos, etc. The collies have always been the ones that are like the most like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like they worship it. I'm not sure. They really act like they're like the big cheese because they're doing that, like as if they're gonna be the big hero for it. Like it's really like a lot. They put a lot more stock in it. I don't know how to describe it. It's hard. You'll see what I mean if you poke around a bit.
No, I don't disagree fully. Like, I haven't looked at what the colonial like tactics, what they prefer to do, and how they act are, but just from playing Warden, from just watching what the colonials do, they have a very low morale. Is one of the big things I've noted. Because if they start to think they lose, a bunch of them instantly disappear. And
yeah, the funny and irony of it is
they go to Reddit to cry. I guess
the funny thing about it is they're so quick to be like ready for the charge, but the second it goes bad, you know.
I feel like that's one of the reasons why I like playing as Warden, because unlike the Colonials, the Mammon Rush, that is very much just something the Wardens do. It's just like they grab all their Mammon.
I remember when
nothing else. Every one of us are going to die. Let's blow it up.
If I remember correctly, didn't the Colonials used to be the only ones that have Mammons?
I don't know.
I think I remember.
Mammons have always been.
I think there's always been a both
I might be thinking of something else because they keep renaming shit and it confuses me.
They were called HE grenades.
Oh yeah, yep. See, I was thinking of something else.
Like
before they named them Mammons, they were just called HE grenades.
Yeah, see, that's how I remember them. I keep thinking of, when I hear Malums, I keep thinking of something else.
No, the HE brushes. Like, I have watched videos of just wardens looking at a complete like MG gun line, and they still charged, and they all died about halfway there, but they did it again. And I just love the constant, just sheer, what's a good word for it?
Morale chain?
No, I don't think that's the word I'm looking for.
About the tank.
Boneheadedness.
I've heard that our tanks are supposed to be better, but that's from my experience doing tanks and stuff up until about a couple years ago, and then about a year ago. It still seems like that's not really the case, because like when you have a warden tank versus a collie tank, they can still fuck you up from the front. Comparatively, it's still like they still feel very competitive. Like I keep hearing, "Oh, the warden tank's supposed to be better," and I'm like, "Oh."
No, the warden tank's not better.
But
the warden tank is good for really small encounters. Like it's good for showing up real quick, blasting the enemy, and then leaving. Because it has more armor.
In practice, though, it's
They have cheaper tanks which shoot faster.
No, I'm not debating that.
From my experience in practice, it doesn't matter that they're supposedly better or not. You still die just as fast.
Yeah, no,
I have heard that. I have heard that they're also
tanks
faster.
have more armor and it has a higher
I don't
chance
doubt that.
to deflect the rounds, causing no damage. Their tanks have a higher HP, but with less armor, so they take more damage.
Their turrets are faster than ours too. So
yes, their turret is also faster.
The only thing that
is that their tank has low HP and they're cheaper.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I've consistently doubted over the years since they started doing the asymmetrical thing is I haven't really had most of the one-to-one fights I've had as a tanker have not been in the warden's benefit. It's always just been like they wear you down quick and then you just die anyway. So even with just one tank front on front, getting hits.
You said you haven't played since.
It's been about a year and a half since I dabbled. Yeah, my playtime. See, I quit for a while, and then I came back. So I quit years ago, and then every few years I come back for a few days or a week or a couple days, and then.
Barry, can you lock the ship?
Last year.
Lock them to keep people from getting turned.
So last year I hopped in for a week, and I was like, oh wow, look at these different tanks. They got this tank, that tank, and I got to a convoy. But tanks haven't really felt like what I keep hearing over the years. It just feels like in practice it's just not better. That the warden tanks are better.
Alright.
But I've had multiple front-to-front fights.
I'm just checking out.
Tanks that are supposed to be weaker and armored cars, and they just
you're blocking the door.
The warden tanks wear down much faster than I hear.
Not necessarily.
I can't get out of the spotter.
But anyways, this is just what you heard. You're gonna have to experience it yourself.
That's what I'm saying. From my experience, I'm a tanker and I'm a Logi player usually. Sometimes a frontline and a frontline medic. I do all those things every time I try out the game. Every time I come back to the game to see how it's coming along. And over the years, from my observations, I have not seen consistent. That they're better. It's usually just feels like it's skewed into the collies where it's more even. But the wardens are slower. But they feel like they wear down pretty fast. And then I ask around for other people's opinions on that engagement and the engagements they've had as well, just to make sure. And I get their opinions on it, and they talk about how the armor wears down and things, and how that's the factor. And I was like,
oh yeah, no, I agree fully with that. Like if you show up with a tank that's fully armored, the Warden tank is better. But
in practice,
that
it doesn't
armor
seem
only
that way.
lasts for the very beginning of that battle, and then it's done until you can get it back to be fully repaired at a garage.
Yeah, from my experience,
colonial tanks outdo you every time.
Yeah, it feels like they outdo me, because like every time I've gotten to a fight, the Warden tank wears down fast, and then it's hard to disengage. Unless you got infantry there threatening them with anti-tank weapons, you get pushed. And you can't do nothing about it but try to run. Or, you know, like, getting out.
That's how that works.
And that's what it feels like most of the time.
You're a sitting duck.
And I've been in multiple tank battles, not just 1v1, but also 5v5, 5v4, 5v3.
Oh shit, he's gonna die.
Most of the tank engagements I've been in our favor, and it's still been rough.
Shit, pick him up.
Have you been in a 1v10?
Yes.
I
played for a very long time.
I
literally been in a 100 versus 0 tank battle because I built 100 tanks for the front line one time, and they were heavy tanks too. And I got a whole army. I got a whole group together to come drive them, and we still lost several tanks in that fight. And there was no enemy tanks. Oh, there was maybe an armored car, I think, or two. Yeah.
It really depends on the crew of a tank. That's the main deciding factor, and honestly,
it does help.
My opinion is the Wardens have more experienced players.
Well, that's true. Whenever I talk about the armor to armor 1v1, I'm filtering out the situations where it was obviously like, oh, they dropped a mine on you, or whatever. I'm talking about frontal on frontal engagement. Yeah, I'm referring to the frontal on frontal engagement where both sides are not necessarily pushing, but we're trying to work out or wear down the other side's tank so that we can get a push going. I'm mainly filtering to those situations because I know, you know, side shots and infantry and shit are a factor. I'm referring to the situations where those weren't a factor.
Yep. Well, actually, we can do that where I'm making batteries, so that's fine.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
What to make now?
That's what I was referring to.
I don't know.
I'm very selective whenever it comes to things, and I also like to bounce my thoughts off of other stuff and things like that. I try to get some inclusivity, because I want to have fun in this game, but I'm kind of a tank enthusiast. I've gained a lot of passion for tankery.
Like when I look at Reddit is a horrible place to look at if you want to play the game.
No, I never really go there.
Do yourself a favor and don't. Because it's just like, these people are cheating, this person's bad, all this is bad. Warden bias, colonial bias. There's literally everything.
It's like, Twitter stuff and all that. I've led multiple teams on different games. I got a little bit of an idea of how some people are about things.
Yep. Does it take heavy oil? How do you make heavy oil?
But I will admit, like, I find it interesting to talk to colonials that actually are willing to talk about their stuff.
This thing.
Because you can get some really interesting viewpoints from them.
But it makes byproduct.
Yeah, so just to cap off, just to summarize, basically what I was trying to say was, like, even if the Warden tanks are better, in practice it doesn't pan out. Because it feels like they wear our armor down so fast that we're about even, and then they got speed on us, so we have basically no advantage over them.
Be possible.
Or comparative,
or
comparative fighting streak is what it feels like. And that just goes back to the asymmetric problem that's going on over the years.
Also, the
Because back in the day,
are cheaper, work better, and just generally overall work better.
it felt like there was more strategy involved back in the day. Because like the symmetry, not one side's weapons were better. They might have looked slightly different, like the tanks would look a little different, but they were functionally the same. They would do the same, have the same, etc. They damage. So it came more down to who had the better plan, or who fell for the plan, etc. Or got the flanking shots, So there was more to it than just I'm just gonna push on this warden tank and he can't. I'll kill him before he kills me because I can fire faster.
I just can't.
It's, assuming that it's a 1v1, of course.
Yeah.
If there's infantry, hope that they are a decent shot, but I've been in situations where the tank still goes down, even with infantry protecting it, because they'll focus him down, and they'll sacrifice their tank for it. They know they can just have another one right behind them. And that's been my experience. It's just been more of a slaughter than anything, since the asymmetry stuff has been more prominent.
Yeah, like I was fighting over at Fairmore to Westmarch a few days ago, and we had an entire tank line there. We were my group was using a relic tank, and
while I'm thinking about this, here's
hold on, real quick. Let me address this fellow's mentioning about the 1v1. When I say 1v1, I mean that in the purest sense, not they're in an empty field with nobody around. In a lot of tank engagements between two front lines, you're often going to have tanks poking each other, trying to get rid of the other tanks so that their infantry can push, while their infantry takes cover to let you do that. So a lot of 1v1s, you still have people around. It's just that they're not the ones engaging you. The enemy tank is. So that counts as a 1v1
You can also
as well.
bring this down closer if you want.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Can't remember.
While also trying to make sure you're wearing gas masks, because they'll try to gas you out too.
Okay, yeah, no, if you find a crew that's not wearing gas masks, it's fun.
Oh yeah, it's deadly. I just wanted to clarify what I meant by 1v1, because that's for me, 1v1 is broad. It's not specific.
Yeah, I'm thinking down here because I can.
Because there's still people around, but the specific part is about the actual engagement itself, not the surroundings.
So I'm just currently Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Just give me a moment. I'm thinking how
That's
to do
true,
it the most
but I've been in a lot of comparative battles. I've seen situations where there's 3 or 4 tanks,
most amount of
and they always bring up the same amount of tanks to counter it. But I've also been in situations, like I mentioned earlier, where I've been in the majority more often than not as warden, and we still got our shit kicked in by the lesser
I can do it.
as in tanks. Just because of the way that they reverse, they swap out, they do other things. It depends on the war, but over the years, I've just seen a variety of that sort of tactic going on that still stayed consistent.
Oopsie.
Like that time that I mentioned that story I told you guys about earlier where I brought the 100 tanks. I did tell you that the majority of them got blown up. At least I don't think I did. And the enemy team didn't even really have any tanks. And they were running. And they still took out the majority of them. I had to go and pull out some reserve tanks I made on the side. I did mention that part at the end about the reserve tanks.
Yeah, no. Like, I will admit, they're really formidable, but if you know what to do and you have the right equipment and you simply lull the tank into a false sense of security, they're really easy to kill.
Yeah, it's just really hard to do that. There's always a lot of back and forth. It comes down to who has the best repair crew, honestly.
One tank with a crew that's just like, we're mortal, we can't die. And they just drive straight past you as you're sitting in a bush.
And then they explode right in front of you. I've seen that happen twice. Like, come on, boys! And they push and just immediately get blown up. it's so cool but funny at the same time.
The battle I was mentioning over at Fairmore to Westmarch, there was those 2 little hills in the middle. There was a bunch of tanks, colonial tanks, that just charged that point and just died instantly. Just because they got caught up. they thought the wardens were retreating, so they all charged really fast to try and get a kill on a crippled tank that they saw, and
Yeah.
well, it didn't pan out.
Yeah. In a lot of the proper front lines that I've seen where they have trenches and multiple tanks on each side and people trying to poke and prod to see whatever exploit they can get out of the defense and opposition, more often than not, it's the team that back up. They'll have tanks and they'll swap them out back and forth. It's whoever has the best repair crew and whoever has the best like sense to like back up and replace that usually overtakes the other. And then they'll also try to like get cheeky like infantry shots in too. And that's usually what ends up deciding that.
Battles, infantry really don't work. Just because the infantry is not going to push a bunker base. Not if it's well made. The infantry is going to sit there and wait until artillery is called, until tanks arrive, until missiles, until some other factor is there.
Well, yeah, typically,
unless you're the Colonials, then you just pull up an ISG and you're done.
Yeah, I've seen Wardens and Colonials bum rush like the most defended shit with just like grenades and stuff, just throwing the numbers in, you know, just wearing it down quickly, just throwing their life away. But you're right though. They're typically, you know, typically the idea is that the infantry do that, but I've seen some crazy shit, man.
Like that's another reason why.
Well, that's really trippy.
That's another reason why I think the Colonials underplay their actual abilities is because like the ISG.
We are not.
The 30mm cannon is just amazing.
Later today.
They'd love to look it over.
6 hours.
Yeah. I was responding to the guy talking about PTSD. Between this and Red Orchestra 2 and maybe a couple of select games, you can really get you in the moment. It just gets a little hard once you start feeling less and less part of the team. That's why I'm trying to see if I can find a little bit of a group, because I have a lot of things I want to try out. Even though the trains came out not too long ago, I still haven't really got the chance to mess with them much. And I'd heard that they updated them recently.
Seen an actual train yet.
I saw one yesterday. And then the guy just left it. I said, "Hey, you need help?" He's like, "No, I'm getting off." I'm like, okay.
Outside.
Trains are fun because trains are fun for train fun. That's the thing.
Trains go in a straight line until a conductor says otherwise.
Anyways, I find it interesting that there's trains in the Navy, and that's mainly what I want to mess around with right now. Just want to get in to see what that's up. Train's part of Logi, but it's also part of artillery and other stuff because you can put other stuff on it.
Oh yeah, no, I saw
you're supposed to drive this thing
from the train.
You have to get the propeller. You have to get the engine room crewman.
Is there like a helm or something?
Pull up the anchor.
I think there's most likely a captain's deck, but first you have to have people to operate the engines.
Oh yeah, no, I know
Anchor, engine,
I didn't know
captain.
that.
Those are the things.
I just learned that. Well, from what I've heard, you could have machine guns and artillery and stuff on trains, so...
You can... I think what he's saying is he wants more like actual armored train. Like a train that doesn't die, I guess.
Well, he said a battle train. I mean, I know what an armored train is, but I mean, I don't know about the armor train part, but the battle train part's doable. There's some screenshots of some super tanks.
Toss, you bring up a really good point. I feel really bad for the Colonial super tank. That was sad. At least compared to ours. Although I will say I do think there's a strategy to be used for that tank, but I don't know what it is.
Well, trains can drive in reverse, so you could just, drive up to them in reverse instead of forwards. He was talking about the head dying. The locomotive. If you don't want the locomotive to die, then just go up ass first.
You could put multiple locomotives on the train, can't you?
Yes, you can. At least I think you can. I did an experiment a while back when they're still new for about 30 seconds. Because I ran into a guy. I came back the next day and I couldn't find him, so I said, oh well. Went back. So that's the most I got to try on a train. But yeah, you could put multiple locomotives on one train. If I remember right. I might be wrong, don't take my word for it.
The Bane is a wonderful point. I will say.
You better just make sure you're shooting them then.
Pain in the ass again.
Well, if you're going to be that close to the enemy, you better make sure you're shooting at them then before they shoot you. And by that, I mean, I'm going to run for my life.
Can I point out real quick? The Colonials complain about the Cutlass rocket launcher. They have the Bane rocket launcher that fires armor-piercing RPGs. Ours fires regular RPGs.
Yeah. Remember how I mentioned that every war there's always some extra imbalance that makes one side more overpowered? I've joined multiple wars where like the collies would have like an extra weapon, or we supposedly would every once in a while. That wasn't quite the same, but more often than not it seems like the collies did. But that's just, don't take my word for it. That's just, I'm not trying to state it as a fact or nothing. I'm just saying like there's always some sort of like, ever since they started saying, we're going to make it asymmetrical, we're going to make this and that, it's always just seemed like it's compounded and just kind of like cycled. Like every war, it's like, oh, we gotta wait for the next patch to supposedly fix X or Y, and it takes a while sometimes.
It is fair. I won't complain that the devs don't do a good job.
Yeah, that's another reason why the pro-collie bias meme jokes, I think that's part of where they started from, is because of that just happening over and over.
Although, wait, have you seen like the inside of the Colonial battleship?
No.
It looked bare. At least it did when I saw the Bears video came out. It just looked empty. It feels empty.
I heard in chat yesterday that most of the stuff in Bears video is obsolete now. A lot of
that is fair. Like, it was said that a lot of stuff could change, and I believe that is a true statement. But I meant just like design-wise, it looked really empty. No, we only have one battleship.
I think he's talking about the other team.
Oh, they have one battleship and they have a destroyer. We have a battleship and a submarine.
Yeah, and among the other fleet items like the staging ship and
I will say I really want to see how the submarines come out.
From what I've heard, it seems like it's going to be pointless because it's way too expensive to want to bother. But from what I've heard...
No, the submarines are cheaper than the destroyers, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah, because yesterday I heard otherwise. And then I heard that they're going to... It just sounded like a waste of time from what the guy was saying yesterday, and I was like, we'll see.
So I was looking at the cost for the submarines and the destroyers. So the destroyers cost more than the submarines, but both of them are just slightly above the half price mark for a battleship.
Right.
So the battleship is twice as expensive. The supply ship is decently expensive, but that's because it can also be used to transfer an entire front line from the
Right.
ocean.
Yeah, I would like to try some submarine stuff, see what that's about. I played some simulators here and there, and I've learned a lot about that.
Oh, U-boat. Oh no, that I was thinking of the game U-boat. My bad.
I play that too.
It's a fun game.
I played Wolfpack, U-boat, Silent Hunter.
I will. No, the subs come out on the 18th, I think.
I thought we already had some subs. I thought my...
No, not yet. Destroyers came first. When the submarines come out, they'll open up the magic boxes so we don't have to dig up all the resources we need to build stuff.
Okay, yeah. I would trust your word on it because you keep up with it better than I did, because I'm like at the point to where I'm kind of like, I don't know if this is the right term for it, laissez-faire.
The articles that they popped up. So I'm not super up to it.
Yeah, when it comes to some games, I just kind of like don't like stick my nose up to like every little detail. I just wait till something comes out and then I'll try to read up on it or find out in the moment, depending on the game.
No, I understand. For the magic boxes, it gives us the resources to make it. So so as soon as you pull out the resources, it instantly spawns back into the magic box.
Yeah.
So you can build the battle. You should be able to build the battleship from the magic box, but it should theoretically
it'll still take
time from
yeah.
dry dock.
Yeah, the reason why Foxhole is in that list for me is just because I just got disappointed with it.
There's not much to read for Foxhole update, honestly. Like, I don't read all the new ones that pop up. It's just like the major things like this.
Right. I'm also the wait and see kind of type when it comes to those types as well. I want to be like, all right, we'll see when it comes out, look it up. But my friend Hammer here, he was really wanting to, and I was like, yeah, me too. And I forgot what he said. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
No, I understand. Like, Foxhole is one of the games is like, it's a man to keep up with.
Hammer wants to know, are they going to speed up the grind in the for logistics and getting making ships? He's in the chat.
Hi, John.
I don't know. I know that the oil refineries make alloys we need for the ships, but it's really the rare materials that we need. And I don't know about that. I don't heavily do logi. The rare alloys? The oil refineries out in the middle of the ocean, scrap nodes, component nodes, that's my understanding. Also, I really wonder how easily it would be to get the battleship down that river to the main ocean. It seems like it would be a feat.
Yeah, it seems like a few things are going on. Well, Griffin, I'd like to hear some more of your stories. You can add me on Steam if you like.
Well, let me see if I can get it to work the first time, shall we?
I usually have spaces in it, but my friend wanted to play Dark Souls, and Dark Souls don't like when you have a certain amount of characters in your name.
Yeah, no, I can understand.
Yeah, it took us
that.
hours to figure out what was wrong with it. He even fucking got banned from the game because he was trying to figure out why it wasn't working. He started messing with his network settings, and the game said he was cheating and kicked and banned him. So he had to make a whole new account and buy the game again.
Ow.
Yeah. Turns out it was my name. Because it had a space in it. And it was above 15 characters.
Yeah, that sounds not fun. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna exit the game so I can look at Steam.
So the Hammer, so far, I don't think anyone knows when this ship's gonna be leaving. But it's, I mean, keep asking because I'm curious. I want to be on to see it. Since I'm retired now, I got some free time.
Man in truck, can you come near me a second?
Feffy Poo, oh my god.
Hey Q, you could join us.
I know, but I'm checking out this battleship.
Oh, that's nice. Well, we
I was
have
swapping
drones.
some old stories of the game with some guy.
We have drones now. We have capable. Or capable.
Oh,
capable. We have capable of making drones. Me and John aren't making them. We're waiting for you.
I'll
make them.
I plan on being there soon. I'm about to get off of here. I was just asking a bunch of questions about the ships and stuff. They're adding submarines into the dev branch in a day or two. I'm standing on this battleship and I was exploring it, Seth. It's pretty cool. Like for the engines, you have to have 2 crew members, or at least, or 1 person running back and forth to turn on individual propellers for their speed. Yeah, and then there's like different turrets. Like there's multiple positions that require maintenance. Yeah, my friend Hammer and my friends and I, we play multiple games as well, co-op, etc. So if you're interested in finding some more stuff to play with people, let me know.
Well, finding stuff to play with people isn't necessarily my issue. It's getting off of the stuff I
We've
already
also
play.
unlocked your
Since I have
the
you ever heard of a game called Space Station 13?
Yeah, I play Space Station 14 on Steam.
Yeah, there is Space Station 13, and
have you tried 14 yet?
No, I've tried 14. It messes. Okay.
You should try it. You should try it recently. They put a lot of updates on it.
Hey,
I tried logging in. I forgot my password and all that, and it's such a pain in the ass to get back in.
Well, if you get around to it, let me know. My buddy John and I have a few friends that like to play it. We'll play it with you.
Alright, I will take a look at it.
My friend John likes to play botany and sec. And I like to come up with some stuff to do.
We have the electric furnaces now.
I do medical sec.
A lot more just because it has players. And I don't have to wait until like a group community gets together.
Right, so I don't. How long ago was it that you played 14, by the way?
Having electric furnaces? You can have the first one.
I would say it's close to a year now.
Yeah, so there's so many updates in 14 now that I've seen 13 veterans saying that it's incredibly close to replacing 13.
The very first.
And there's a lot of
furnace built
players,
here.
a lot more
It will
players
be
on it
lost
now than there was
to
before.
time forever.
And there's consistent servers.
Ooh.
So yeah,
well,
I actually have a couple servers
okay,
that
wait.
I'd like to go to.
There is a difference, I will say, that has to be made. By better, are they referring to base game, or
right? So
okay, like so what type of game are they referring to?
Imagine Space Station 13 is the end goal, and it's driving like a car. Imagine Space Station 14 is trying to measure up to 13 and then match its speed, so it's trying to catch up to it. Space Station 14 is catching up very quickly to 13, and they're almost matched up with the added benefits 14 brings to the table. And there's more and more people coming into play than there was before. So there's consistent servers, and then there's even servers that have their own custom stuff going on. Like there's this one called Park Station where they have their own custom sec tools and things like that, and color schemes. So there's a lot of so there are some mild branches, but there's also like base game stuff coming in too.
I will say, like, one of the things, like, right now that's in Space Station 13 is just, I like some of the servers I play on, they have really customizable sprites that I use to make characters.
Yeah, they have that in 14.
I enjoy the personality I can build in my characters.
Now I don't know the entire depth of all the 13 stuff, but in 14 it gets pretty in depth. Like you could add like a stutter quirk onto your character.
Oh yeah,
and you can add like different hairstyles, and
that's pretty fun.
You can add different stuff like that. But 14 has become so good that it's almost to the point to where it can replace 13 entirely, including the added benefits.
That is a bold statement.
Well, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying it did or is. It's not quite there yet, but it's caught up really fast. And this isn't from my own words. These are from people that played nothing but 13 forever. These aren't my own words, because I don't have experience with 13. I just know from what I've looked up on YouTube, and then I've dug through the discussions and asked questions to people that were veterans, and they're real impressed with 14 and how far it's come.
I will say I joined 14.
I'm just saying, give it another shot, see how it's coming along, because I think you'd have fun.
I walked around for a little bit, and there was like 5 things you could do, and that was turn the station, make it look different directions.
Yeah.
And start not even start the engine. You can turn off the gravity, and then you can find something to beat someone's skull up. That was it. And I'm like, this is.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was yeah, it's come a long way. You have the atmospherics, you have decompressions, you have super lube, you got the races, you got the lizard people.
No, kill me now.
You got the lizard people, you got dookies, you got syndicates. What's that slime thing? The moss people? You got that? You can be depending on which server you're on. There's also like the Nico people where you can fit them in a duffel bag.
Can someone?
No. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
And now we can
that guy said, "Can someone?" and he cut himself off. I had to respond. No.
I have to take a look at this. It sounds.
It's come a long way. I saw a video from whenever it was early on. I'm like, nah, I'm not interested in that. I'll wait. And it come to find out that video was like a year old when I saw it, and I was like, wait a minute. So I looked into it, and I was like, oh. You can like, because like in the version you played, you probably couldn't even drag yourself onto a table, could you? But you could do that. Now you can do that now.
I don't think I tried.
Well, you can. I saw a video of someone that played like Space Age 14 like a year and a half or a year ago, and they snuck outside and tried to break into like the window, but they couldn't put themselves on the table.
Is it empty?
There's also like physics for like space and moving around in there too.
Be able to keep up.
Yeah, that makes sense. I only put one.
No, I like
My
there's
friend.
a couple servers, like, there's a few more.
What's my goddamn fucking magic
Sean
box?
called them more tag focused servers. And they have nice mechanics like actual airflow. Like if
Well, just
something
let me.
opened up, you can actually like see air moving around.
Well, just let me know. I have a couple of servers I like to go to for different reasons.
I have a small plan that
I got one server where it's a little
reasoning.
Okay, so I have one server which is almost always completely full. It's not the only server that's full, but it's just one of the ones I prefer because they're decent people. But people are obsessed with readying up for nukies. So almost every time you play it, it's nukies, and I get sick of it. So then I go to the other one that I like called Park Station, which
like,
have
in IK what
Nuki.
In IKY?
Nuki,
Where
like they show up and try to bomb the station.
Big red
and all that.
scary men that come in, blast down the door, and go, "I'm gonna stab all of you, and you're all gonna die."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
they show up on the spaceship and all that.
The energy sword.
Yeah, they have energy swords.
Nice.
It's fucking terrifying. One time as head of sec, I was like, I found this mime, and I roped him into something, and because something happened, and I had a feeling there was a rat, and I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? Keep an eye on that guy over there. He's gonna go hide, and I want you to tell me what he says. Sure enough, it was a fucking syndicate, and you know what?
Seems like it's
He was calling in nukies. There was a nukies getting ready to come in, and they were contacting him to get inside information.
Another water
And
pump.
I was head of security. I got the crew ready, and in 30 seconds they boarded, and it didn't last 30 seconds, and we took out all the nukies. It was great.
Have you ever had a wizard round?
Another water pump.
This was on 14, by the way. A
Yeah,
wizard
I know.
round where things come to life.
And a pump.
Say again?
Isn't that where like vending machines and stuff come to life?
No, I mean an actual wizard round, like where some figure comes in and there's just one of them, and they can do basically whatever they want to cause chaos.
I have seen, like, I've had a server offer to help me do some dev work for them, and there was some wizard stuff that as an option, but I haven't been on enough servers to see it. I only frequent the ones I like. There's a server called Wizard's Den.
So in
there's a Wizard's Den
PlayStation
server,
13,
so
Wizard is one of the rarest spawns someone could get.
yeah, I was told, and I've seen in like the thing that the Wizard's there. I just haven't seen it myself, but then again, I don't go to Wizard's Den server that much, so maybe they do it there. I usually go to Park Station because it's more. It gets a little interesting because that one focuses more on like you doing the thing and role playing. Yeah, they have like custom. They have custom sec weapons and stuff like that they design themselves. So they're like an off branch of the Neonotrism kind of thing, but they're doing their own thing. They're actually like the originator of it or some shit, they said. Anyways, they're pretty cool guys.
Or don't look into it.
Yeah, they're pretty cool guys, but yeah, John and my friend John, he likes to play a purple dinosaur. It's Lizard Man. And he calls himself Smoke because he, like pot, smoky.
One of those people.
So he's like Barney the dinosaur, but he likes to be botany.
Yep, no, adds up.
He also likes to do Warden as well, which is pretty interesting.
I think Warden is one of the few sec roles that are actually decent.
Yeah, Warden doesn't get enough credit
because I'm not sure what Space Station 14 looks like, but usually
to be fair, none of these are going out. None of these.
Warden gets a lot of shit they don't deserve sometimes.
Trash, and thus security treats the crew as trash.
Oh, I see.
And it's an endless cesspool.
Yeah, when I'm head of security, I don't do that, or whenever I'm captain. When I was captain, everyone loved me.
Captain has no say in what the security member does until he shows up. And security member's gonna do his shit.
Oh yeah, I know.
There we go.
I had made this one joke to this one whenever I was HOS was like, take this guy and show him around. I'm like, all right. So this is a very tough job. You're gonna have to be very careful and diligent. First thing we're gonna do is go to the bar, and we're gonna take a break. Anyone asks for help, tell them you're on your break.
Seems okay.
And then make sure you schedule assign. Make sure you assign.
Private, stop. We're having a conversation.
Make sure you.
Go look at this fucking truck.
Make sure you assign appointments for beatings, and I always tell people you're on your break. And if someone asks you anything, say, "I don't know. I just work here." And he went full role play with that. It was great. It was hilarious.
I saw a meme someone made. It's
He
like,
spent the entire time in the bar just drinking.
Actually in command. It's like crew members. Then you have like security members. Then you have like the head of security. Well, like you have the other heads. You have the head of security. You have the captain. And then above that, it's the warden. It's like the warden has the most command power on the station. Because if the warden says do it, you might get a gun out of it, so there's reward.
Yeah.
I love playing as warden, just simply because I'm like looking at the office. There's like I see an officer drag someone in, and they just tell me, "Hey, can you take care of this?" And I'm like, "What did they do?" Doesn't tell me. Walks out the door. I'm like, "So what did you do?" Them, nothing. Me, on comms. What did this person do? I received no answer whatsoever. And they're like, well, if I'm not told what these people do, I'm going to let them go.
This one time at SEC, I got my friend.
No one is talking, and it's not my fault.
Make batteries with chemicals.
I got my friend to line people up at SEC. We were SEC, and I got my friend to man the front desk. So I told everyone, take the line, get the line.
Plugged up too.
And so while we were knocking the line out, I said, who's here for their scheduled appointed beating? And the guy comes in, and I just beat him down. And this medical guy from Medbay came in as a personal physician, because there was like a little medical spot there.
Outback right here.
Yes.
And it was great. He played along with it, and he healed him and was like, ah, shit! I have footage of it. I have footage of it somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
I can show you where to find it if you want to look for it. But I was like, thank you for coming for your appointment. Please leave a good Yelp review. No, not a Yelp. I said, please leave a good review for us. And then I was telling other people, like this other prisoner, like an actual prisoner, I'm like, it's almost time for your scheduled beating. We received a good review today from it. Our customer left very satisfied. And then the physician was like, it's very true, and I'll be here to pick you up. I didn't kill them or nothing. I just hit them a couple of times with a stun baton just to stagger them and walked away and said, there you go. Yeah. Like the idea is that it sounded much worse than it actually was. Was kind of the point I was going for.
No, yeah,
I didn't actually hurt nobody.
This was one of my weirdest stories I got from being a warden. The crew was disgruntled, mad. The crew was, I don't know, angry at everything. And the clown strolled up and started preaching about, the crew deserves better wages. Let's go have a
oh yeah, I saw that before in 14 as well.
What's it called?
Real quick before I forget, that
protest.
That more.
And you want to know where they decide the protest? You want to know where the crew apparently thought took care of their bills?
Hey, John.
Sick.
Just out of curiosity, how are you gonna pipe in the?
What?
And I'm sitting there at the front desk staring at the entire group.
Please wait in line, sir.
Signs that we deserve better
Sir.
wages, and I'm like, wait, stop, hold on just a moment. I'm not against you. I'm simply curious, why here?
Sir, please wait in line. One of the fun things about roleplay is that whenever One of the fun things about roleplay is that whenever you engage someone in roleplay, they kind of have to comply. So you can come up with a batshit scenario and they have to engage with you. Like telling them to.
No, it's like I'm sitting there. Like this clown, we had issues with him earlier in the round.
I
So
use that
it's just
to
like
my
I'm
advantage
already not
sometimes. It's
happy
funny.
with this clown. And
Yeah.
he's clearly leading this group. And
Yeah.
I start talking to one of the members from inside my character.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so explain to me why suddenly I see the clown just run down the hallway. And I'm like, oh, I'll deal with that later. And then I hear an explosion. The clown suicide bombed one of the brig cells.
I heard a story from this YouTuber called Seth Cesarion or whatever. He did a video on Space Station 13 that a clown like locked open all the airlocks and then put the lube and just made people slip all the way out into space.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
He got banned.
No, but in this case, like as soon as the clown exploded, I was on security comms and like an explosion at brig. I am hereby designating this protest as a riot. Break out lethals. Armory is open. If any of them try to stay, shoot them.
Oh my god.
And I walked out there with like the pepper spray suppressor backpack. I'm like, this is now designated as a riot. Unless you feel like dying, leave.
Right. I do need to warn you though.
The other half like stayed their distance. Trying to figure out what happened. I went over to where the explosion was. I just see clown pieces laying everywhere, and I start laughing hysterically as I grab the clown and I pull him into the brig and hide him in the little prison morgue. And I'm like, he's never being seen from again. Never, ever, ever, ever. He is staying here to rot forever.
You did a little lowbrow, huh? That was very wise, in my opinion.
I made the clown disappear.
If the ship is anchored, aren't the gangways supposed to go?
I am a player that if I say, if you have pissed me off, I am going to make you disappear if I say it.
Yeah. I do have to warn you though.
Sure there's warning.
On that park station.
If an admin ever gets pissed at me for making someone disappear,
yeah,
I can say I warned them.
Yeah, I mean to be fair. At least you warn them ahead of time. If you do this, I'll be mad and try to, you know, retribution.
I had a completely insane scenario. Okay.
Oh wait, there's something I need to tell you about though.
I was playing the chief engineer.
You probably won't remember this, but remember that park station I mentioned that I like because it's a little more chill? There is like an expert guy on there, and he always comes in as the Cindy and a lawyer. And he's pretty good. He knows a lot about Space Station 13 and 14, and he's pretty interesting to deal with. So if you like a challenge, he's your guy.
Oh no. There's one guy in Space Station 13 on one of the servers they play. His character's name is Jack Gray. Do you know what a Gray Tider looks like?
Oh, the other server I'm going to show you, there's also a Nuki guy on there that's really good too. But I have heard the term of Gray Tider. I looked into it.
All
There's
right.
jokes about that in 14 as well.
So basic. I will say there are three types of Gray Tiders. There are the Gray Tiders that everyone just calls Gray Tiders, and they're just the assistants. They don't count. They're not real. Then you have the self-claimed Gray Tiders. They suck in every term of the word. Just if
very important dev brush.
They don't even care if they survive. They just want to destroy. That is their sole existence. And then you have the third Gray Tider, which is I've only met one of, and that is Jack Gray, and he is the one guy you don't fuck with on the station, but otherwise he is a hero in every sense of the word. I watched him just completely disable antags with a bar of soap and soap alone, and they have like they're just sitting there in mod armor with a gun and everything, and were disabled by a bar of soap.
Because they didn't have no slips, right?
Apparently not.
Yeah, PlayStation 14 has no slips, by the way.
Wow, look at all of this cheddar.
So, like, and Jack Gray, from what I've seen, is
Oh man, that is a lot.
Like, he broke into the armory and took guns, gear, and weapons. Proceeded to leave SEC, go meet the Antag, just kill the Antag outright. I'm just sitting there like, this man's a hero. The security doesn't even try and stop him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. Just doing the right thing involves the gray lines. Well, I mean that.
And he's
I mean that.
a great man.
I mean, like the gray area. Not everything's always has to be by the book.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that statement.
I know, it's just that I realize gray area sounds like gray type, Yeah, I kind of made a pun without realizing it.
Yeah, you did.
That kind of makes me mad.
Out of curiosity, does Space Station 14 have the supermatter crystal yet?
Maybe.
I will explain. Supermatter crystal is the engineering's way on most servers to power the station. They shoot it with lasers. They circulate the air inside to keep it cool. If they fuck up, the engineering department is gone. If they don't,
I think the trailers just landed on top of it.
Well, I can't even get to it.
It's a giant glowy crystal that kills you if you touch it.
Tell you what. If we get on that server together, we can. I know the admin devs on that one server I like. We can ask them when we go on there. They asked me to help design maps for them.
Yeah, I know. I fixed it.
Haven't quite connected with them on it yet because I'm waiting to get my mouse sorted. That's a big ass boy.
Yeah, they got the other ship here now.
I know.
Someone grab that tugboat, the boat, and move it, please. Hop on the back machine gun or something.
I'm about to get off. You can message me on Steam. My friend wants me to help him build a factory in Factorio.
Did you accept this friend invite? I can't see it pop up while I'm in the game.
I did.
Alright. I'll see if I can actually get logged back in on 14 and see if I can get that to work.
Alright, I use TeamSpeak with my friends. Is that okay with you?
Say again?
I use TeamSpeak.
We do produce a lot of different
explain?
It's a dedicated voice over IP. Doesn't use a whole lot of system resources. It's very efficient.
By the way, John, you can
I
make
run
your
the
list
server
right
with my
now.
friend. Well, my friend owns it, but I police it just like all our other servers.
Here,
I
let me
see.
show you what the heavy
I've
oil
never heard
pack is.
of,
It's right here.
so-
Here's your heavy oil.
Yeah, what you're gonna usually look for is a website. It's TeamSpeak 3. It has a logo on it. It has its own website. And you download a client, and then I send you the server address.
We're gonna try.
Alright.
What I do is I set it up to bookmark so it'll auto join the server every time I start it. And that's pretty much where I spend most of my time when it comes to that.
Remember to go and stake.
Just
Alright.
move it a little bit to the left.
Yeah.
Like most of the time I
a
just
little bit to the
use
right
this
now.
because like everyone has it.
I'm relaying.
Just have to do this tomorrow. But
Yeah,
we've got a lot of time, John.
I have a lot of issues with it.
And let's check the power.
Okay, now bring her forward a bit.
Did they just push that with the amphibious car
Yeah,
like a
you
tugboat?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I hope that stays
That's
in this.
epic.
I really hope that stays as a feature.
That's so convenient.
That
Yeah.
is
It's gonna be a
extremely
problem pretty
convenient.
soon. It's
Don't
gonna
tell
have
the
to be
colonials.
fixed.
Yeah. No whine and get it removed.
You really gotta hit the nuclear power
Alright,
Yeah, no,
permission to come
listen to
aboard,
these
Captain.
Whenever I put them in earlier, they weren't even
Permission
making
to
noise.
touch my arm.
Now there's just tons of steam coming out of
It
them.
really itches badly, sir.
Going.
I had one round in Space Station 13. I was in D, and a mine broke into
Actually, I need to check
engineering.
something.
I
So,
proceeded
high
to
pressure
give
steam.
the order to my entire
Rip that dude that just fell down
they
the
call
crack.
that mine in security. Well, in engineering again.
Steam coming off the back.
I don't care what happens to it as long as I don't see it. I was basically just telling the crew, it dies, I don't care. Make it disappear.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I think we're getting on by going on top of this gun over here.
It was
Yeah, I think
it was very
kind of being
interesting
janky. We might need to
when
pull it off a little.
the contractor of the day informed me that he had a mission to kidnap the mine, but he had
This is a cool looking vessel.
As a captain, some of my best second right-hand mans and as head of security is from mimes and clowns, believe it or not.
Check.
They were the most loyal and trustworthy I ever had.
Where I despise them with passion.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
They're either some of the best friends we can have, or they are just the sheer worst things on Earth.
Yeah.
They're almost no.
I seen a mime wipe out a
Alright,
station
give
by
me a moment, I'm
themselves
gonna
as
check
syndicate. Just because they were that clever.
This mine,
And they used their
reason
invisible
why
wall.
I had a kill order on it was because a supermatter surge happened, which basically meant the engine was doing something
Taking
funky
off
and it
one
could
of
just
these.
explode on us.
Look at that.
And it could explode really, really badly.
That's scary.
And the mine proceeded to put an invisible wall in our one entrance to the supermatter crystal. And basically put the entire station at danger. I was going to the head of security. I'm like, if you murdered this mime, I don't care. I want it gone. You can toss it into the engine too. I will fix whatever problem comes up from that. I just want the mine gone. I was very willing to just off that mine, and the entire crew knew it. I made sure they all knew it. I went on to the command. I turned on my loud volume and went on the comms, and I just went.
I doubt this is gonna work. Let's see if it does.
If that mine ends up in engineering, I'm going to kill it. And the sad thing was, the entire crew eventually agreed with me and ended up offing the mine with an eagle to the face. It was
how poetic.
It was a good day.
Here, John. Look.
This is awesome and all, but I'm gonna get off of this.
Yeah,
My
you
friend
said
wants
you
me
were
to
gonna get going.
Yeah, I'll send you the server address. My friend John is Saturday.
Alright.
My friend John's the one that made the pink lizard man like Barney. He played PlayStation 14 with me recently.
I will see if I can even get logged into that game because I haven't tried in a long time.
Yeah, my friend John might appreciate your stories. He played. He used to play Foxhole with me a few years ago, and Seth did too. So he might appreciate some of your space station stories. Yeah, it also. It's also good for.
What happens when I add this?
You might call storyteller.
It's also good for when I'm recording too. Anyways, yeah, I'll send you the address. I'll see you later.
Alright. Well, it was fun to at least see the ship.
Yep, I'll be away, so if you need
Even if I didn't get to actually see them in action.
I was watching them while you were talking.
Yeah, no, this group over here was just kind of like shenanigans.
Oh my.
Did you fall? No!
I am not long for this world.
You can swim for a long time now, so you have a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
It just lets you
You
get
can
up.
reach it from back there?
It just says press E to climb aboard. That's
Really? Shit. That's amazing.
That's good. About time. Fuck. Took them long enough.
Can't stop me now. I swim forever.
It took them damn long enough to add that to the game. Holy shit.
I fell down the hole.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I have no clue how to get back up the ladder. I can't figure out how to make it work.
This ladder used to work. Let me go on the other side. I climbed up one of these ladders, it worked. Oh, there we go. No, don't go down! No! I'm not going up these ladders. Next room. It works over here.
Yeah. At least one of them worked. Alright. Message me on Steam.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off as well since it's late, and if I want to do anything else,